your breakfast. Shayo, Choco bow for the risotto. Nothing to discuss, cause I get by default and without any doubt. I'm a me, I be a adult. I don't go feed the girl, I don't go feed the girl, it's out. I'm a mind that's super dark. I put my life into my job and I know. I don't want to cut when them skills over. But I try to buy moto, Toyota Corolla. My feelings been they swing like Django Lover. Feelings been they swing like Django Lover. Now you crash your Ferrari for like Ibona. That's what you make it have been all over. My feelings they swing like Django Lover. Feelings they swing like Timbani at you. Come on, white dog in Venice. Why you say I did nothing for you? And if I do anything you want me to do, somebody got you, got you. Come on, white dog in Venice. Why you say I did nothing for you? And if I do anything you want me to do, maybe another time, maybe another life. My wife, I'm gonna get it right. Don't pass, that's life. Now everybody can try breakfast. I have to say bye bye, yo. Bye bye, yo. To the love of my life. My eye, yo. Don't cry, yo. I need to go and shadow, shadow. I need to go and shadow, shadow. I need to go and shadow, shadow. I need to go and shadow, 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 shadow. I need to go and shadow, shadow. I need to go and shadow, shadow. I need to go and shadow, 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 shadow. Another banger. Make a call, make a call, make a call, make a call, your body, kilo fe, I'm a dead chocolate, fine, fine, oh, look at it, watch out, for like it, why not more, chupadi, chocolate, push it in, yeah, in my dick, papa, see it, kilo fe, I know, lady, for you, but I'm not easy, baby, I want to be you, yeah, I'm a make up my eye. I'm a need that and you. I'm my eye. I'm a need that and you. Baby, baby, I don't want it there. Baby, don't go body better. Baby, they wanna be see on my want see on my baby. Make a call, make a call, make a call, make a call, your body, fine, yeah. Fine boy like this. If I just want, I could there. Okay, yeah. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Plenty money. Okay, yeah. Okay, baby. Plenty money. Okay,
Early in the morning, why I wake you now?
Yeah, I know I give you all you need. I know what you love. I feel it for me. Happy, yes, yes. I try to need you, but I need some lessons. I need to give it all. I just don't live what I lost. I just don't want, just don't want. Turn me out of my mind. You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body. Only you feel on my body. Only you feel on my body. You don't need no other body. Said I'm really messed up my mind. I'm not really living free. Say your body talk to nice. Say I'm not loving it for the life. Yeah, I love the night. We are really together, yeah, night. I'll be your body, baby. As you're whining your body, so crazy. Loving your body, baby. Girl, you are easy me. I just wanna let you know. Oh, every day. You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body. Only you feel my body. Only you feel my body. You don't need no other body. Hey, baby. Everybody said, no one loves you today. No one wants you the same way. Up to the morning, but you good with it, y'all? Yo. Welcome to the Algaes Podcast, fam. You know it's that late night Saturday live, you hear me? It ain't 12 o'clock yet where I'm at. It might be past 12 in the Eastern time. So I'm at ain't past 12 yet, so it's still 420. So the light went up for 420 for y'all real quick. Little ancestor veneration. Praise the ancestors, yo. Oh yeah. You never know, see a little criminal could have run in a yard and take a deep right. I blame and the lane, no sleep and the main and the up to Jesus Christ. I make you run, I make you out, I make you sleep even nights more. You dash me, nobody can find us. Please like and subscribe, follow the channel, yo. My cash up in the chat real quick. If you want to support the channel, see more things, see more visuals. You know what I'm saying? I'm just in the beginning phase, gonna get better and better, you know what I'm saying? We're just going in on the information. It's like a crash course. Algaes Podcast like a crash course. We just gonna we give it straight to you. Coming up here, throwing them up in this 45 feet, me can't think now miss. Finger move, shoot me gun, then nasty. Intellectual murder, people in the shot. Cock and fire, pull a gun like Remington. Pull the charge up, big up the killer man.
My name is Gullah Biri. You know what I'm saying? It's not Jabiri, it's not Jabiri, it's Biri. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn it from my Mende family. You know what I'm saying? The G is silent. I like that. G is silent. It's like me. I'm a silent G. You know what I'm saying? We could go in. Tonight's show. Shout out to the pseudo killers. Shout out to Carnivorous Podcast. My brother Chef Ron, brother Unc, and the whole pseudo killer family. All right. Tonight, y'all, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna continue the Bantu expansion. I'm going up and back step on. I'm gonna show y'all, I'm still using Civilizations of Africa, Christopher Eric, because I think it's a great he shows a great detail in African migrations, African spread, and cultural spread. And I'm gonna show you another source too later on after tonight's presentation, and from another book I have called from Ancestral DNA, Human Origins and Migrations. It's one of my favorite books too. It's kind of one of my favorite reference books. You know what I'm saying? It's not a book you always just read straight through. You go and pick, you know what I'm saying, and out of the information you want to get out of. You got a lot of good information in there for human migration, DNA, sources, and things of that nature. It's written by a plethora of different experts. Oh, just a minute, y'all. Get set up real quick. I'm back, fam. But yeah, but tonight the main topic at hand that we're gonna be getting into is Bantu technological expansion or technology expansion in East the classical age in East Africa. There's gonna be part one. This even itself for us the Bantu expansion is it's like it's sort of a sub subject in the Bantu expansion itself. So I had to break it up in portions. You know what I'm saying, for us the Bantu expansion. And this history starts from 1000 BC to 300 CE. Was the classical age, or I should say BC. I'm sorry. This portion will be 1000 BCE to 300 BCE, and in the midst of this too, Africa, during this time, already had iron. Africa, this is in the middle of the African's Iron Age. This is in the middle of Africa's Iron Age, East African Classical Age, because iron was already discovered or have the oldest evidence of iron smelting in the Adamawa plateau in the Central African Republic. You know what I'm saying? Most likely by people that was of the Adamawa Ubangian type people. You know what I'm saying? That branch of Niger Congo people. Before the Bantus even have it. The uh Bantu people didn't bring iron into Central Africa. But they learned, they learned it when they got to the lake regions, you know what I'm saying, from the Central Sudanians. And the Central Sudanians, they were also in the plateaus too with the Adamawa people. So they probably as a collective human interaction created this. Hold on just a minute. Hold on. Yeah, yeah. But yeah though, the Bantus, they didn't bring iron into Central Africa or even East Africa. They learned it when they got to the lake regions. They learned it when they got to the lakes, and they adopted it from the Central Sudanian people. And Central Sudanian people, by the way, they are themselves as a subgroup of Nilo-Saharians who practice the old Basel culture of Nilo-Saharian culture. But at the same time, in these contemporary times, by then they would have mixed with other Nilotic groups who already had practiced pastoralism, from more northern areas and mixed with them. So, this was a whole new type of group, even though they still hold on to those somewhat older Nilo-Saharian traits and cultures. But those are the ones who introduced that to Bantu people and also the Ubangian people too. You know what I'm saying? The Ubangian people, they introduced it to the Central Sudanian people. They created it, as a collective, in the Central African Republic, and along that what they call the equatorial tropical belt, which is areas beneath the Sahel. Yeah, though, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you this map real quick too, before we get into it. Show my screen. Hold on. I see you in the building, Sosa. So with it, Sosa. Here we go. And I got a better map. I got a way better map than I had last time. Share my screen real quick. Yeah, and Dr. Bunab, I'm not mentioning his region of Africa. I'm mentioning Southeast Africa. This is the Bantu expansion. I'm mentioning the Bantus entering East Africa. And it only belong to Somalian people. I'll show you my screen here. Can y'all see my screen? As you can see here, closer. As you can see, follow my mouse right here. You see this Bantus, from they migrated from right here to Cameroon and Nigerian area. You know what I'm saying? Some went this way along the Atlantic coast. You see, have Batois here, pygmies in the rain, tropical rainforests. With the Bantu, if you notice, the Bantu really leaks or travel along the rivers. You know what I'm saying? These because they're agriculturalists. They cut through forests and they go through rivers. And you had other Bantus that migrated that they call like the fill-in Bantu migration. They came in from these other the Bantus who already like settled in and they moved into certain little areas like, you know what I'm saying, a little bit away from the rivers, you know what I'm saying, cutting down forests, creating, you know what I'm saying, more savanna type environment so they can uh grow their yams. We talked about that in previous channels. I mean previous shows. And here they show the Ubangian migration here. You know what I'm saying? These Ubangi, this is another branch of Niger Congo family. The actually the Ubangians are part of a group called the Otomawa Ubangians who created iron smelting, who discovered iron smelting in Central Africa around this area, Central African Republic. And they also would have intermingled, these people would also intermingle with Central Sudanians. You see right here, Central Sudanians, Nilo-Saharan groups. All this right here, all these little light brown color, these are all Nilo-Saharan groups. You have two different Nilo-Saharan groups here. You have the Central Sudanians, you have the Nilotes, or also Nilotics. You know what I'm saying? Which is specifically the Sog groups. You know what I'm saying? Some of the earlier Nilotic groups that migrated around the lakes, even before like the Kalenji and the other groups later on, like the Luau, you know what I'm saying, all coming in from South Sudan. You know what I'm saying? Because this is right here. This is right here. This is the Nile right here. To the Nile. This is the beginning of the Nile. You know what I'm saying? With the source of the Nile, which is, you know what I'm saying, it splits off into the Blue Nile, which is further up north up here. You know what I'm saying? But it goes deeper when it goes into the you know what I'm saying, the White Nile. This is what we call the White Nile, and it goes into Lake in Nyanza. You know what I'm saying? And Lake Nyanza is the actual name for Lake Victoria. You know what I'm saying? You know, the British named it Lake Victoria. It didn't really call Lake Victoria. Bantus call it, you know what I'm saying, Lake Nyanza. And probably other groups, around probably called it something else too. But it was called Lake Nyanza way before it was called Lake Victoria. You know what I'm saying? Due to British colonization. Now here, like, you know what I'm saying, because the Bantus really finna get into in this chapter. We're gonna get into the Boans right here. We got into the Boans already in another chapter. These are some of the northern Bantu groups that, you know what I'm saying, went into these areas, you know what I'm saying, along with that intermingled with a lot of, you know what I'm saying, Ubangians, you know what I'm saying, a lot of groups and Central Sudanian groups here. And then with the Bantus, we're really gonna get into talking about through this series, get into the classical Eastern age. I mean the Eastern classical age, you know what I'm saying, of Africa, which is the Mashariki, Bantus. And I told you last show, the Masharikis are an offshoot of the Savannah Bantus. Like you see here on Mouse here, these would be the Savannah Bantus. Because you see this strip of land here, right up under these tropical forests here. You see the Batois. This is anywhere you see this area. These are where the tropical forests are. The Batois. You see the Batois here. You don't see these little forest people. This is more tropical rainforest areas. But right here beneath them tropical rainforests, you have savanna again. You have a strip of savanna. You know what I'm saying? You even have some certain Batois here, you know what I'm saying? We have little pockets of other forests, but right here, this little strip, this is big savanna or woodlands. Actually woodland savannas, because they savannas, but they're a little bit more woodier too. You know what I'm saying? What's up with the Pure Black TV? Arian Jackson, peace. What up, y'all? But these Masharikis, which is the, you know what I'm saying, we coined these, you know what I'm saying, we don't know what these Bantus actually called themselves back then, but we use this coin term Mashariki because Mashariki is a is a Swahili term. It's a Swahili term for Easterner, for Eastern. And these Masariki really, you see, right? They travel here, and what this is right here. This would be considered the Western Rift. You know what I'm saying? These lake chains right here will be the Western Rift, and they would have set on the western half. You know what I'm saying, of the Western Rift for a while before even going into like the eastern part of the Western Rift here of the lake. And this is Lake Tanganyika. You know what I'm saying? This is Lake Tanganyika, this long lake here. You know, and you would even have koi sign here. You know what I'm saying? Even before the Bantu got, you had koi sign up here. You know what I'm saying? That's why even probably the Hadza even speak, you know what I'm saying, that language. You can have them here. A little bit further north. You got koi sign down here too. But you still have some up here. Hunter gatherers right here. Then you had your South Cushitic groups. You know what I'm saying? They was around these lakes right here too. You know what I'm saying? Rift, you have Rift South Cushitic right here. You know what I'm saying? Also South Cushitic. You have the Holians. The Holians is an old, Afro-Asiatic hunter-gatherer population. You know, so that still existed. You know what I'm saying? That was probably isolated. They still existed. They still carry very old Afro-Asiatic customs and cultures, like Amadic type cultures and stuff like that. Yeah, here you have the Ma. You have the Ma. The Ma is a South Cushitic language. And then right here, you have my brother Isonic ancestors, the lowland Eastern Cushitic. And the lowland Eastern Cushitic would be, you know, in their family would be the Saho languages that's in Djibouti, the Somalian languages, and also the Oromo languages. You know what I'm saying? The northern Oromo and the south Oromo. You got two major Oromo branches. I think one of them called the Barana and one of them called the Barintu. Uh, one of them lived. You had some of them that still live like they live in like northern Kenya. Some of them live, of course, Ethiopia, but you have some of them live in northern Kenya. And then what's interesting too is also is that the Mishiriki Bantus, they are the ancestor of all the other Bantus that traveled into the ones that traveled into Somalia. They are the ancestors of the Bantus of Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda. Uh, they are the ancestors of the Bantus of Kenya, Tanzania, the Swahili coast. They also are the ancestor of the Bantus of the Zulu. Remember, the Zulu people were cattle herders, and they brought them cows. You know what I'm saying, from that lake region. You had some too that, you know what I'm saying, that probably brought like cattle through these savannah regions too. Saying later, a little bit later on, we're gonna get into that probably later on. You know what I'm saying, another future show. You know what I'm saying, but I having a hunch they did too, because I know the Himba, what's it, the Himba tribe. You know, the ladies that wear the red ochre all over their body, and beautiful women. I know they cattle herders too, but they live like down here in like southwest Africa in Nambia. Yeah, let's get into the subject at hand. See, get into the book. Loading up. what about the Beja, Dr. Banu? These ain't the Beja. The Beja are not lowland East Cushitic people. The Beja are northern Cushitic speakers. They still live around the Red Sea Hills. The Beja never traveled that far south. You have three major branches of Cushitic language. You have Central Cushitic, which is like the Aga languages, and also the languages that later infused with certain Semitic languages from Arabia that became Ethio-Semitic. And you have the Northern Cushitic languages, which is Beja. You know what I'm saying? The only branch left is Beja for the Northern Cushitic languages. For that, you know, a lot of the other ones kind of went extinct, like the C group culture. You know what I'm saying? Languages where they would have spoke probably some of the Gash groups. You know what I'm saying? And South Cushitic. You know what I'm saying? The South Cushitic groups are different. You know what I'm saying? They're different. They are Cushitic, but you have different branches of Cushitic. The Beja wouldn't have been that far south. And I was describing all the language families that's within lowland Eastern Cushitic languages, which is its own branch. And those languages in that branch consist of the Soho language, Somalian, and Oromo. That's what I'm talking about. These languages in this particular area at this particular time, the lowland Cushitic Eastern languages. You know what I'm saying? Which would be the Proto-Somali, the Proto-Oromo, and the Proto-Soho. I think another language, the Sadimo, the Sadamo. You know what I'm saying? Sadamo. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the language family too. And the Console language is also a part of that, you know what I'm saying, Eastern lowland Cushitic language branch. Yeah, you also have Eastern Cushitic too. Eastern Cushitic. You have Eastern Cushitic, and Eastern Cushitic breaks down. You know what I'm saying? You have Central Cushitic, Northern Cushitic, Eastern Cushitic, and Southern Cushitic. And Eastern Cushitic breaks down to Lowland Eastern and Highland Eastern. You know what I'm saying? Highland Eastern is like the Omito languages. Let me show you how the book. You know what I'm saying? What book? You know what I'm saying? The actual book that we've been using. A lot of people, I probably ain't never showed it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all didn't know, you know what I'm saying? But it's the book. You know what I'm saying? Civilizations of Africa. It's the book. Civilizations of Africa. This is the book that we've been using as a source, and I'm gonna show y'all some more sources too later on from you know what I'm saying, ancestral DNA and migrations. Okay. Um, let's get into it. All right. Let's get back to my chapter we was on. This is a very good book. You know what I'm saying? I recommend really getting this book. Y'all don't have it. You know what I'm saying? It's to follow along, read it. You know what I'm saying? Real informative on you know what I'm saying, African history, migrations. Uh, excuse me. Here we go. Equatorial, Eastern Africa in its classical age. And also, during this time would be the midst of I'm gonna go into this one. I'm gonna make a whole show on this itself one day. Uh, but this also will be the age, the East African classical age will also be within in world history. This, you know what I'm saying? That's why I told this time period. You know what I'm saying? But the time period I'm talking about is actually, you know, so 1000 BCE to 3000 BCE. But within that whole time range from 1000 BCE to 300 CE will be the time of commerce and iron. You know what I'm saying? This would be they call it the first commercial revolution, and also the Iron Age. See what I hear say two key developments characterize the long-term histories of both Africa and Eurasia. During the centuries between 1000 BCE to 300 CE, one of these was the spread of ironworking technologies over most of the Eastern Hemisphere, and the second was what can be called the first commercial revolution. The Iron Age has often been viewed as the epoch of special importance of technological history in humankind. The first commercial revolution, in contrast, has remained almost unnoticed, and yet it is coincident. Its consequences for the overall course of world history were ultimately greater than those of the adoption of iron. And they say, as effects of these two developments spread wider, the peoples of Africa passed through their own varied regional histories. Just as in Asia and Europe, so also in the northern and eastern parts of Africa, the first commercial revolution created new, more direct links between desperate parts of the world, just as elsewhere, the developments of iron smelting in Africa led to radical changes in tool making and tool use. All in all, however, factors of forces internal to Africa still predominantly shape the course of events across the continent. For one thing, the evidence has, as we have seen, now increasingly favors the conclusion that Africans in the heart of the continent set in motion their own Iron Age, independent of the development of the Middle East, and just as early. In addition, West Africans had their own first commercial revolution in the first millennium BCE, parallel to the timing and with similar social, economic, and political consequences, but separately stimulated by the second millennium BCE developments in the Tichet and inland delta of Niger. You know, so we've seen it in chapter 4. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it in chapter 4, unveiled in the informative stages of the separate history. I'm gonna have to get back into that on chapter 4. Because we're going to the Bantu migration, you know what I'm saying, in this series, but I'm still also gonna still get into, you know what I'm saying, West Africa as well, you know what I'm saying, because this is still an extension. The Bantu expansion is an extension history of West Africa because it's a West African expansion. You know what I'm saying? It's a West African fill-in, a cultural fill-in into the continent. Bantu played a big role in shaping modern Africa. When we think of it of Africa today. Even the Bantu migration is also the reason why when we think of Africa, we think of Africa as Black people, or, you know what I'm saying, tropical people more so. You know what I'm saying? The classical African features, you know what I'm saying? people think of an African, the first thing they think of is a Bantu or West African type person. You know, with that being said, let me get back into East African classical age, show y'all what that even is. Even within this age, you know what I'm saying, from 1000 to 3000 to 1000 BCE to 300 CE. This would also be, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of all that, this also will be at the actual end of that age, somewhere around 300 CE would be also like some of the beginnings of world, of what they call world religions, or the widespread of you know what I'm saying, world Abrahamic religions. All right, now let's get into it, y'all. Make the screen a little bigger. Stretch it a little, maybe. Okay. Yeah, he out there doing that, but you know, West African, you know what I'm saying, the Central African Iron Age started around 2000 BCE, yo. Hold on, let me show you. Hold on. You be going off. You go past stop signs too much. See this. Stretch this out. See. There you go. All right. Dr. Manu, before I get into this presentation, let me show you what I'm talking about on this map. This map, you know what I'm saying, and this is from 2016. They found new stuff, you know what I'm saying, in West Africa. They go back 2,000 years ago. But even this close, this say 1800 BCE, iron, way before the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Middle East, around here in Turkey. The oldest iron, you know what I'm saying, production in the Middle East is around 1500 BCE, around here in Turkey, southern Turkey. You know what I'm saying? Then 12,000 BCE, right here, like in the northern Levant. So around like, you know, Syria or whatever. 500 BCE, Egypt. 700 BCE, right here. You know what I'm saying? North Africa. The Carthaginians would have been here by then. You know what I'm saying? They had it even before, you know, Egypt had it. know what I'm saying? But they would have got it from probably from coming from her. You know what I'm saying? Coming from the Phoenician migration. They would have brought that here. Then eventually, you know what I'm saying, iron when it came to, Egypt, you know what I'm saying, coming from, you know what I'm saying, these regions, migrations. Then you had it about 500 BCE right here around Eritrea. You had independent iron smelters around here, supposedly independent, for you know what I'm saying, experts assume around 300 BCE. But it could have spread, you know what I'm saying, it could have spread from Central Sudanians too. You know, somebody right in the back here, because these Central Sudanians going back and forth here. You had 1000 BCE around here, around Chad. You know what I'm saying? But the oldest is right here. Even these, you know what I'm saying, this would have spread from this, 1800 BCE. You know what I'm saying? Even right here, this happened right before 1000 BCE in these lake regions. 1000 BCE right here in the lake region. But these would have all spread it from, you know, so this 1800 BCE area. So they have found some here in the what they call the Igbo land around 2000 BCE. They found some iron smelting in that region. But but uh but you know what I'm saying, the Igbo wasn't even in that region yet. You know, the Igbo come from the Nook culture. Igbo wasn't in Igbo land around 2000 BCE. You had before Igbo was in that region, you had them Adamawa people there. People that from the Central African Republic traveled in their way before the Igbo was in Igbo land that we call Igbo land in modern day. You would have had them Adamawa people there, you know what I'm saying, with their iron technology. Even the Gur people. The Gur people are also an extension of they call the Gur Adamawa Ubangian culture. Christopher Eric, not Christopher Eric, but Roger Blanche called them the Savannah speakers, the Savannah language speakers. And they would have been, you know what I'm saying, they probably would have traveled all the way up into Mali, you know what I'm saying, spreading this craft. It would probably spread from different cultures too, you know what I'm saying, but the nucleus of that, of this discovery of creation would have been here in this, in the western part of the Central African Republic. But let's get back to the subject though. Let's get back into it. We ain't gonna veer off too much. Made the screen too big. There we go. Okay, there we go. East African Classical Age, and this is the Bantus in the East African Classical Age, taking the spread of their technology. Hmm. All right, y'all. East African, East Africa in its classical age. I'm gonna tell you even what that is first before we even get to the Bantu. Just even get the setting and the plot, you know what I'm saying, of this portion of history. All across eastern side of Africa, from they really talking about the Great Lakes region. They ain't talking about the Horn and all that. You know what I'm saying? If they talking about the Horn in this portion of East Africa, they talking about the southern part of the Horn. You know what I'm saying? Because even like the northern highlands and all that, that portion of the Horn Africa is really the southern region. Is the most southern region of Northeast Africa. You know what I'm saying? That's the most like the highlands, the Ethiopian highlands. You know, so I ain't talking about the lowlands. That's more southern. That's in more southern Ethiopia. I'm talking about the northern, like the northern highlands. That's still kind of part of North Africa. It's just the most southern outlier barrier of, you know what I'm saying, Northeast Africa. You hear when Chris ever talk about East Africa, you talking about east, immediately east. You know what I'm saying? Like right, right in the like bottom portion of the home. You know what I'm saying? But like a lot of those lowland, even the lowland, the South Cushitic groups first migrated through them lands, you know what I'm saying, through them, you know what I'm saying, foreign lands, you know what I'm saying, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's kind of different from their usual environment. And even uh the lowland Eastern Cushitic groups, you know what I'm saying, they later traveled into these regions, you know what I'm saying, in the lowland region, originally from, you know what I'm saying, more highland regions themselves. You know what I'm saying, adapted to these more other, you know, these other regions, you know what I'm saying, that's wasn't as typical as the region that they're originally from, or you know, originally cohabited. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, Somalians are all in Kenya, Tanzania. You know what I'm saying? You have Oromo, the southern Oromo. I think the southern Oromo is the Borana branch. If I'm not mistaken. They live in southern, not southern, but they live in northern Kenya. And then here you got Eastern, you know, I'm gonna tell you what Eastern Africa in its classical age. All across Eastern Africa, all across east side of Africa, from the African Great Lakes region to the north to the southeastern coast of the continent, an immense realignment of culture and language took place in the centuries between 1000 BCE to 300 CE. To 300 CE. I said BC, it's all wrong really. So it is to CE, you know what I'm saying? So this portion, what I'm be talking about, is from 1000 BCE to 300 CE, which is the East African Classical Age, which is also within African's Iron Age, and also Africa's what they call Africa's first commercial revolution. It was a classical age for Eastern African history in much of the same sense that the Greek and Roman era were a classical age in the eyes of later Europeans. Like the Mediterranean classical age of the coming together of different cultural traditions and the emergence of the new beliefs and new technologies characterized this time, the new cultural complex fashioned in Eastern Africa's classical age then spread to a much wider set of regions lying of the cultural foundations on a much of much most of the societies of eastern side of Africa were to build for the next 1500 years. All right. And like even before we get into the actual classical age, you have to get into what's called the informative age. You know what I'm saying, of the Bantu migration though. Now, look, the informative age, the early Mashariki, Bantu, and their neighbors. Remember, I showed you the you know what I'm saying, the Mashariki, you know what I'm saying, where they formulated. The Masharikis right here. You know what I'm saying? They came from these Savannah Bantus, these South Savannah Bantus right here. The Mashariki formulated right here around the lakes, you know what I'm saying, which is also what's called the Western Rift. You know what I'm saying? These are the ancestors of, you know what I'm saying, of most of the Eastern Bantu groups. You know what I'm saying? From Kenya to Somalia to Rwanda, Uganda, Burundi, even certain parts of the Eastern Congo. You know what I'm saying? But you have certain Bantus here. You know what I'm saying? They travel from here. They went into like other parts of the Congo. You know what I'm saying? But these people even were like went into South Africa. You know what I'm saying? Would have been the ancestors of the South Africans, the Zulu Natal, even what they call the Kosa. You know what I'm saying? With the click language, the Bantus, the click languages. You know, Bantus in Kenya, Tanzania. You know what I'm saying? These Mashariki groups would have been the ancestors of them people. You know what I'm saying? And they would have broke off into I forgot the groups, but the eastern, you know what I'm saying, the northeastern and the southeastern groups. Okay, the formative age, the early Mashariki Bantu and their neighbors. The initiating events of the classical age of Eastern Africa took place in the African Great Lakes region during the early and middle centuries of the first millennium BCE. At around 1000 BCE, at the threshold of the classical age, the people of this region viewed their world from of uh, a variety of cultural and economic perspectives. Cultivation and some raising of livestock characterize the economies of the Central Sudanians of the Western Rift region and the Sog and the Rube peoples of the northern and eastern parts of the Great Lakes regions. South Kushites largely, but not solely pastoral in economy, occupied areas to the east of the Great Lakes. In central Kenya and in northern Tanzania, all around, all around and along these various peoples live numerous other smaller communities who still centered their livelihoods on gathering and hunting, or hunter and gathering, of wild food sources and maintain either the ancient Batwa or the ancient Khoisan cultural tradition. Let me show y'all an image again. He just broke down the map. He just broke down the map basically. You know what I'm saying? He said when the Central Sudanians here, you know what I'm saying, around these lakes, you know what I'm saying, what did he say? He said cultivation and some raising of livestock characterize the economies of the Central Sudanians of the Western Rift in the region of the Sog and the Rube peoples of the northern and northeastern parts of the Great Lakes region. That's this part right here. I just showed. That would have been these parts right here. These parts. You see the Eastern Sudanians, the Sog, you know what I'm saying, the Rube. Then would have been a lot of groups. You know, so dealing with the cattle culture. You know what I'm saying? We're bringing in more, you know what I'm saying, cattle. You know what I'm saying? The Central Sudanians adopted this, you know what I'm saying, a little bit late than a lot of ancestors did. but they would have had it by this time. You know what I'm saying? Pastoralism. And then they described the South Cushitic groups. In these, you know what I'm saying, in these eastern parts of the lakes, these more eastern lakes. They say they would have been in Kenya, you know what I'm saying, and in Tanzania, northern parts of Tanzania, northern parts of Kenya. See, it say South Cushitic Cushites, largely but not solely pastoral in economy, occupy areas of the eastern Great Lakes in central Kenya and northern Tanzania. And they say you would have the Khoisan and the Batwa, you know what I'm saying, in region two, certain regions. See? So the Batwa, we had the Batwa in this particular region. Khoisan right here. This particular region at this time. You got Khoisan out here too, but you got Khoisan still right here in this particular region. And they say, into that mix of economies and cultures, a major new ethnic element, the Mashariki Bantu, began to intrude from the west at a date around 1000 BCE. Coming from the west, and we're coming there West Africa, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Coming from that way. And they say began to intrude from the west and west at a date around 1000 BCE. Their arrival at the western edge of the Great Lakes regions initiated a long period of economic and cultural change and ethnic shift that spread across much of the Great Lakes region in the middle centuries of the first millennium the first millennium BCE, which is 1000 BCE. The first millennium BCE saw also establishment of iron technology throughout the Great Lakes. See, I told you it would have been African Iron Age too. The classical African, Eastern African classical age would have been in the midst of Africans' Iron Age. In the midst of it, wouldn't have been the earliest part, you know what I'm saying? Would have been in the midst of it. You know, the earliest iron smelter was found in the Central African Republic, in the western part of the Central African Republic. But it would have leaked on that way from the Ubangian culture in the central Sudanians. And as you see here, see the Ubangian here? Ubangi right here. You know what I'm saying? These would have been the early iron smelters. They would have been part of the Adamawa Ubangian culture, or the Gutter Adamawa Ubangians. Or what Roger Blanche called these people the Savannah cultures, or the Savannah branch of Niger Congo culture. And they would have spread it here, and they would have spread it here amongst the Central Sudanians culture that was probably lived all on here, spreading it, you know what I'm saying, to the lake regions. Later on, giving it to the incoming Mashariki cultures. You might have other Bantus too, like these northern Bowen Bantus. You know what I'm saying? The Bantus in the actual homeland, or the original homeland of the Bantus, who stayed within this region, they didn't get iron. They didn't get iron from, you know what I'm saying, from the Central Sudanians like the Mashariki did. They got iron eventually from the Ubangians or the Adamawa people just by just staying in this region. You know what I'm saying? They would still eventually caught on to it. But the original Bantu migration, like as they migrated through, they wouldn't have had an iron by then, you know what I'm saying, during the actual initial migration around 3500 BCE. But the ones who stayed in this region, you know what I'm saying, by, you know what I'm saying, 2000 to 1800 BCE, you know what I'm saying, would have caught on to iron by way of, you know what I'm saying, just being in the Cameroons and, you know what I'm saying, living amongst people coming in from the Central African Republic in certain areas of Chad. Like they said, the Takar, like it's a tradition that say that the Takar, you know what I'm saying, introduced iron to when earliest iron, you know, since smelters they brought it to Cameroon area. But they would have brought, would have been probably a leakage of ancestral with people, or had ancestral with people from Central African Republic. You know what I'm saying? Most likely Central Sudanese and, you know what I'm saying, Adamawa people. Probably a little bit of Chadians. Like the South civilization. Okay. And it say, okay, the first millennium BCE also established of the iron technology throughout the Great Lakes, but it was early Mashariki Bantu with the resoundingly different approaches to livelihood and cultural expression, who gradually became the prime movers in a radical realignment of society and economy. The ethnicity, and ethnicity. Let me read it over again. Let's say, but it was early Mashariki Bantu who resoundingly different approach. With their surroundingly different approaches of livelihood and cultural expression, who gradually became and the prime movers in a radical realignment of society and economy and ethnicity. Beginning in the Great Lakes region, the realignment eventually spread later Mashariki peoples all across Eastern and Southeastern Africa, from the modern day Uganda to Swazulu Natal. See, I told y'all these people would have been the ancestors of the people of Uganda, from Uganda all the way to the Zulu Natal in Southeast Africa, South Africa. And they say in the early and middle first millennium BCE, however, the Mushariki communities, although gradually growing in population and in social economic importance, continue to occupy a more restricted historical landscape. The heartland of the founding era of Mashariki settlement lie in areas adjoining the Great Western Rift, that long run of the mountains and rift valleys extending north and south along the western edge of the Great Lake region. You see the Chifumbaza ceramics. Show you on this page. Can't see it. See it. Ain't showing it. It'd probably be like a pottery. Supposed to be like a pottery shard. Right here, what is that? What does describe? Say the pottery shard depicted here represent the classic. Why ain't showing the picture? Why ain't showing it? Okay, anyway. The image here would have been the pot. The pot depicted here represent the classic Uriwi variety of Chifumbaza archaeological tradition, made by Mashariki peoples living in the African Great Lakes region in the dates to second half of the first millennium BCE. The initial penetration of the Mashariki communities into the region took place probably along a broad front to the immediately west of the rift of the Western Rift. And I heard the Arwili people would have been a a branch of the Mashariki branch, and the Arwili people them would have been the people of those particular Bantus would have been like the Bantus of Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi. And here it says the initial penetration of the Mashariki communities into the region took place probably along the broad front of the immediate west of the Western Rift. When I showed y'all on the map, precisely when this occurred is not known, but most probably it was the very beginning of the first millennium BCE. This settlement set in motion a very cultural interactions of Mashariki Bantu with the Central Sudanic and Eastern Sahelian societies. And the Eastern Sahelians would have been in a lot of groups, He just, because the Nalada group is a branch of, it's a branch of a branch of a branch of Eastern Sahelian population. People from the Eastern Sahel, or the Eastern Sahara, or the, or people for there's Nile Saharians originally from, the southern Middle Nile. But this particular branch would have been the Eastern Sahelian branches of Nile Sahara, or a sub branch of that. The Central Sudanians is a whole other branch of Nile Sahara in itself. And they would have met up, interacted with these Mashariki Bantus and around that lake region. That's how the Bantus eventually, adopted iron. And also it would have been like introduced to other Bantus too in the interior by these Bantus traveling back migrating into West Africa. So some of these Mashariki people later on migrated back into West Africa. They say in two aerial groupings of the Mashariki communities. Hold on, read it again. Say this settlement set in motion the variety of cultural interaction of Mashariki Bantu with the Central Sudanians and Eastern Sahelian societies, and two aerial groupings of the Mashariki communities. So the Mashariki would have broke off into two separate groups. The Kaz, that's what I'm talking about. The Kazi, that's why I said the more northeastern, because Kazi is the Swahili term for north. And the Kusi is this term is a Swahili term for south, or southern Bantus. And these are just coin words, These ain't what the people would actually call themselves, but this is the terminology we use to identify these particular Bantu cultures. It's a generic term. And they say the Kaskazi and the Kusi began to take shape. From the beginning, the Kaskazi and the Kusi consisted of clusters of communities who spoke several slightly differing versions of what was still a single Mashariki language. Between 1000 to 600 BCE, the Kaskazi cluster of communities expanded further eastward, principally into parts of modern-day Rwanda and Burundi. The pottery of the Chifumbazi complex around Rwanda and the dating of of early as early as the 10th to the 7th centuries BCE belong to this period. And remember, I showed y'all, you know, what I'm saying, supposedly I showed y'all they show it, but they ain't really show it. But I said that you right here, it says the Iriwi, you know what I'm saying, a variety of Shifumbazi agriculture. Remember, I told y'all these people would have been the people that migrated into, you know what I'm saying, Burundi, I mean, Rwanda and Burundi, and also Uganda. You know what I'm saying? The Hutu and Tutsi came out of these populations. You know what I'm saying? And and they say the Kusi cluster of the communities located to more southerly parts. Remember, I told you, I said it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, the Kaskazi would have been more northeastern. You know what I'm saying? Of East Africa or immediately east, and the Kusi would have been more southern. And they say, let me say, yeah, they said the Kusi cluster of communities located in more southerly parts of Western Rift region during the Middle Mashariki period, most likely along the immediate west of the Lake Tanganyika, probably similarly grew in population and territory. They remained in contact with developments of affecting the Kaskazi peoples, but no longer in so direct a fashion. So they still would have been, even though they would have been separated distinct groups, they still would have had some type of coexistence or some type of relationship with each other, not as a direct, you know what I'm saying, but still, you know, still something there. Contact, you know, contact with the developments. And here we go. Technology and cultural expansion in the classical age. It said the expansion of the Mashariki Bantu settlements triggered a wide range of new developments. Developments. First and foremost, Mashariki people began to open up a large new area to farming. The Central Sudanese had previously used the plains and the edges of the montane forests along with the Western Rift. The Saab and the Rube societies had relied particularly on more open savanna immediately east of the rift for their livestock and their grain crops, but like sorghum. But in the early first millennium BCE, large areas of the Great Lakes were still covered with forests. The Mashariki communities who had come from the high rainfall wooded regions of the Congo Basin, these areas offer a familiar and kind of environment attractive to their settlement. Their choice of places to settle had two further probable consequences. Unopposed in the forested areas of established farming communities, the Mashariki populations are likely to have entered into a period of accelerated population growth, a common consequence elsewhere in the world when mature cultivated economies intrude into lands previously occupied by purely food collecting peoples. Second, their expansion would gradually have overwhelmed the and eliminated gathering and hunting as a viable independent economic option, and only because of the population growth among the Mashariki communities, but because the Mashariki people, hold on, yeah. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back, y'all. I'm back, y'all. Yeah, yeah, I let my wife in the door. Here we go. To get back to it. Okay, and it said the okay, but basically we were just saying like the Mashariki people, you know what I'm saying, coming to these areas, they would have changed a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the people, the previous people's cultures, like the hunter gatherers, like the Patois people and the Khoisan people, you know what I'm saying, overall. You know what I'm saying? That, and even it would have been so effective that we, like, even today we don't even know the original language that the Patois even spoke. Because now they speak some you know, incoming foreigners language that came into like Bantu, Ubangian, or even Central Sudanian language. Okay. Um, and two, you know what I'm saying? They said too, you know, that's interesting too, that it's just said that any most time when populations like farming populations move into hunter-gatherer cultures, the population usually grow. You know what I'm saying? Or previously food collecting people's, you know, areas of population grow bigger. And that's probably too why Bantu people are more numerous. There's a Bantu speakers. The language family is more numerous. The language have a lot more dialects. The language, you know, what I'm saying, spread. You had new languages, language branches along the way, like moving along the way, making more languages. You know, intermingling, amalgamating with other, you know, foreign people. And they say at the same time, a wider regional process of a technological shift began gradually to take hold as the knowledge and practice of ironworking became more strongly established along the peoples of the Western Great Lakes. Iron technology spread first to the Central Sudanians and the Eastern Sahelian communities before 1000 BCE. Hold on. Okay, first to the Central Sudanese and the Eastern Sahelian communities before 1000 BCE, and then to the Kazkazi communities along the Western Rift by the 10th century BCE. All right, I'm back. It was a few no, it was some no, I had to it was a few technical difficulties I had to work out. I had some background noise going on. I had to, you know what I'm saying, I ain't want to intrude them the show. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm gonna get back into it. Okay, I'm gonna start from the top. We talk about the Mushariki people, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, with their food production, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, bringing in, you know what I'm saying, changing the culture of, hunter gatherers. And they say at the same time, a wider regional process of technological shift began gradually to take hold as the knowledge and practice of ironworking became more strongly established among the peoples of Western Great Lakes. Iron technology spread first to Central Sudanians. I mean, I told y'all, you know what I'm saying, the Adamawa Ubangi people, you know what I'm saying, they the ones who first brought the iron, you know what I'm saying, or came up with the iron in their areas. You know what I'm saying? Uh so it said they, you know what I'm saying, iron technology first spread to the Central Sudanese and Eastern Sahelians, you know what I'm saying, in a lot of groups. You know what I'm saying? It said a community. It said before 1000 BCE. You know what I'm saying? Because it spread it from West Africa. It spread it from Central West Africa in the Central African Republic by the Adomawa Ubangian populations. And it said then and it say then to the Kaskazi Bantu communities along the Western Rift by the 10th century BCE. And it said iron seems originally to have served as a material for making items of self-adorn in these regions. So it was like iron, they were making iron for like statues, artwork, jewelry. You know what I'm saying? They weren't really using this for tools yet, or even weapons yet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? In them regions. They say only over a period of several centuries did iron become the preferred material for tool making. And iron tools only gradually drove into disuse in different stone tool making traditions of these regions much later in some areas than in others. Up to the middle of the first millennium BCE, these developments built up an irregular patchwork of different cultural and economic approaches to life in the Western Rift Lakes. I mean, in the Western Great Lakes. And it say, the Great Lakes regions, with the sizable areas of the Mashariki settlements interspersed, especially in the Western Rift zone, just just to the east of there, with the Central Sudanian and Sag communities, Sag being a lot of groups. The interactions across ethnic lines created a new body of widely shared technological knowledge, not only of the ironworking, but establishing among the Mashariki communities of agricultural practices quite different from those they had brought with them into East Africa. Up to that point, however, the new agricultural knowledge would have had little practical effect local economic originated. Orientations. The local economic orientations still probably largely coincide with the ethnicity before 500 BCE. Over the second half of the first million BCE, this patchwork of cultural economy began to break down. A number of particular features of material culture of Eastern Sahelian or Cushitic origin gained wide currency among the Bantu-speaking societies. Increasingly, it seems probable Mashariki communities gave up their old style of rectangular gable roofs houses in favor of the round conal roofs houses of Central Sudanians and Eastern Sahelian societies. By late in the millennium, peoples all across the region had adopted a new development of woodworking technology. Notably, the making of carved wooden tools, usually with three legs of beds with intertwined rope or wood saw mattresses. Iron took a increasingly importance in tool making. Even before the 5th century BCE, the knowledge and practice of iron making also spread out of the Great Lake regions, westward to Bantu peoples of Congo Basin, and more southernly to the Kusi communities of the Mashariki Bantu. So the Kaskazi Bantus, who were the first Bantus to pick up iron, spread iron to other Bantus like more westward into the Congo Basin. You know what I'm saying? Bantu that was already there and traveled, you know what I'm saying, and just settled into areas that's more central, you know what I'm saying, to Congo. And also, you know what I'm saying, they would have spread it to the Kusi or the southern, you know what I'm saying, the more southern groups of of these Mashariki branches. And then too, the Western Bantu, the Southwestern Bantu, they would have picked up iron from the Cameroon area. You know what I'm saying? Groups that will eventually, learned it that way. It will spread too in different directions. And they say the first of the two stools shown here are unique wooden varieties of the items of furniture made by Batwa people. The second, uh, it said the second to a stool from the Pakat, a southern Nilotic people of Kenya. It exemplifies the original technique of carving the tool from the single block of wood. This technology developed sometime before the first millennium BCE among peoples of Sudanic civilization living in southern Middle Nile Basin. Three-legged stools are among the new items of culture that diffused from the Eastern Sahelian peoples to the Mashariki settlers into the Great Lakes regions in the middle of the first millennium BCE. That's another, see it like culture spread. You know what I'm saying? Culture amalgamated. You see, even the pygmy, you know what I'm saying? Even from the Bantu, the pygmies even had their own version of this, you know what I'm saying? This stool. Because they, assimilate. It's like the head, if you ever seen them head rests, some African head rests, even the Egyptians had it. That came from Nilo-Saharan culture. You know what I'm saying? And even that spread, that particular culture that particular thing spread from the Middle Nile, southern Middle Nile basin to Nilotic groups and even to, Central Sudanian groups. And then it got introduced into Bantus, into, Central Africa. Okay, let's get it in. Right here it say water. And it said right here, the Mashariki community spread into more and more areas. And as a coincidence, the Central Sudanian and Saug peoples progressively began to be assimilated into societies of the Bantu-speaking neighbors. The resulting growth of the Mashariki population gradually shifted the demographic advantage away from earlier forming societies. The pace of the pace of human induced environmental change must also have increased in several areas, as a number of Mashariki communities began adding grain cultivation to their agriculture, adopted new agricultural tools such as the long digging stick of their neighbors. Of their neighbors, as well as the recently invented iron hoe, and started practicing in consequence a more extensive clearing of land. So they started doing even more. You know what I'm saying? Remember, they usually had the stone polished axe. When they gained the iron, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The tree, the forest clearing became more intensive. And it's ironic too. It said they picked up grain, you know what I'm saying, cultivating grains like sorghum and things of that nature. And what's crazy too, Bantus, the proto Bantus or the Bantu ancestors, they would have, had grain, like fonio rices and like the Mindi people, they still practice waxing, more further, West Africa, we have rices, fonio, them type of grains, it's another one too. African wild rices, some different wild rices or whatever. Millet, pearl millet. So we'd have pearl millet, sorghum, so we'd have sorghum too, just from, dealing with the West Sahelian population, like the Songhai and the Kanem people, whatever. And the Bantus would have dropped that because, so you can't really grow that type of stuff in, in the more wetter areas, wet forest areas, as they travel more to more tropical regions. But they still carry certain, Sahelian or, Sudanic crops with them, well, West Sudanic crops with them, which is like, black eyed peas and things of that nature, but you still can grow in more tropical areas. And say in the areas along the south and southwest of the western in Nyanza, so what I told you, Lake Nyanza, of the Great Western Lake in Nyanza, that's what they call today Lake Victoria, but it's really Lake Nyanza. This clearing of land by Mashariki communities may have already helped as early as 500 BCE to open the way of settlement for the first time of specialized cattle raisers of the tail southern Kushites in the region. The Tale, I mean of the Tale Southern Kushites in the region. The Tale people were a western offshoot of the Rift Southern Kushites who had previously inhabited the plains of northern central Tanzania. The clearing of the land would have had the effect of unintended uh, would have effect unattended by the Mushariki cultivators of making available much more land for grazing animals, and thus would have encouraged the incoming spread of Tali people with their cattle. So they was helping these Southern Kushites and didn't even know they was helping them. And they say by about the 4th and the 3rd century BCE, the converging effects of these several different developments set off a new series of events. Population growth in more and more areas began to threaten the ability of the Mashariki to sustain unmodified and long follow yam-based agriculture that their ancestors had brought with them into the western Great Lakes regions in the early parts of the millennium. One response to the add grain crops and the increased portion of diet uh, uh, obtained from cultivation had already been taken by some Mashariki communities. This step probably helped fuel the wider spread of Mashariki people within the Great Lakes region itself in the middle of the first millennium BCE. The adoption of sheep by the various Mashariki communities during the same centuries and where environment allowed of cattle contributed further a further in increment of subsistence productivity. Increased livestock grazing added another factor grazing that helped along the sustained decline of forests. The second response was more drastic to move entirely out of the western side of Eastern Africa and seek out suitable environments far afield in which a pursuit of old livelihood or to carry on admixture of yam raising and grain cultivation. This option was taken up particularly among Kaskazi communities in the southwest of Lake Nyanza and among the Kusi groups residing still further to the south. This began the events that marked the inception of later classical age of the Eastern Africa. We can get into another show on that one. You know what I'm saying, on the southern, later in the future when we get into the southern, the other series of the classical age, the later classical age period, Eastern Africa, and the far-flung expansion of Bantu communities that within a period of 3 or 4 centuries, from perhaps 300 BCE to 100 CE, the scattered Mashariki peoples from the coast of Kenya at the north to the woodland savannas of Malawi and Mozambique to the varied environments of Zimbabwe to the KwaZulu Natal and the northern South Africa at the south. Now with a now mixed agricultural heritage that blended Sudanic and West African agricultural traditions, The Mashariki community showed themselves able to adapt to a great variety of environments. They became the chief expanders of the African agricultural frontier southward to the southern edge of the continent. See what I said? They brought a blend of Sudanic and West African agricultural traditions. Let me say, with them spread many ideas and practices rooted in ancient Niger Congo civilizations of West Africa, while suits of the social and religious ideas of the cultural practices unknown in Eastern and Southern Africa before 1000 BCE, the often in sharp conflict with the earlier cultural norms had become by the fourth century CE the common heritage of communities spread from Uganda and Kenya to KwaZulu Natal in religion, centrality of ancestral observations. I'm sorry, of ancestor observance in philosophy and problem problem of of evil understood as uh, the consequences of individual malice or of the failure to honor one's ancestors in music and an emphasis of polyrhythmic performance with drums as key instruments in dance, a new form of expression in much of the variety of prescribed body movements took precedence for footwork and in agriculture and preeminence of women as the workers and the innovators. I told you we talked about all that in earlier show. You know what I'm saying? All that whole wrap up. You know what I'm saying? The Niger Congo culture. So these Bantu still spreading that culture. And let's say in East Africa, the Kaskazi communities were the instigators. You know what I'm saying? And once again, the Kaskazi or the northern, the northern Bantus out of the Mashariki branches, which is the Eastern Bantu group. Communities were the instigators of these cultural shifts, beginning as early as the spread or second century BCE. Several of these communities relocated themselves to the southern and eastern edges of East Africa, far away from the Great Lakes regions. The several sets of the Kaskazi communities moved southward, settling in highlands all around the northern and end of Lake in Yaza. There's a whole other lake in Lake Ginyaza in the east. Among them were the groups we call the ancestral Rufija in the Ruvuma, Rufija, Ruvuma, in the Rukwa, in the Rukwa, and the Njamba, in the Njambi. Two sets of communities, the Nzania and the upland Bantu, moved from the Great Lakes regions all the way to the areas along the Indian Ocean. The Nzania communities established themselves on the coast between the lower Panjani, Pangani, and the Ruvu rivers by or before 200 BCE. The upland communities arrived perhaps a century or two later, settling around the Peri and the Usambara Mountains, just inland from the coast. Between them and 300 BCE, they added a new settlement in coastal areas near modern day Bombasa and on the southern slopes of Mountain Kenya. A few of the upland communities moved further north to the lands along the lower Jumba and the Shimbili rivers in what is today the country of Somalia. These would have been the Somali Bantus, Isani. Coming out of these Mashariki populations. These would have been the most northern Bantus. And they say a few, what I say again, a few upland communities move further north. So these are upland Bantus. You say, yep. You say the two sets communities, the Nzaya and the upland Bantus moved from the Great Lakes region all the way to the areas of the Indian Ocean. So the ones who moved over in the Indian Ocean were the same ones, who moved into, Somalia. They say they would have moved to lands in the lower Jumba and Shambali rivers, and what we today uh, in rivers and what is today the country of Somalia, with few exceptions. With few exceptions, the Kankazi people, in becoming sought out forested or woodland savanna country to settle, the Nzanya and the upland communities passed right across dry central grasslands and steppe of East Africa to the higher rainfall woodland coastal areas, and in the case of the upland people, also to the tropical montane forests found in the Pari and the Usambari mountains, and also on Mount Kenya. Similarly, the Fufiji and the Ruvuma and the Rukwa and the Njombi in settling 2,000 years ago at the north end of the lake in Nyasa, all moved initially into wooded and forested lands. In forested lands. In all the areas, these various Kankazi people were able to maintain key elements of the West African planting agriculture of their early Bantu ancestors, although they would also have supplemented the growing of yams with the rising of grains. In some regions, the livestock, including cattle, gradually gained an importance among them as well. In the drier west central parts of uh, East Africa, several of the Kaskazi people, deeply influenced by their southern Cushitic neighbors, even adopted the flat roof rectangular style of a house as their own. So some people Bantu would have been influenced, by even the Cushitic groups being house building. You see, earlier they were influenced by South Sudanic and East Sahelian Nilotic groups, with the cone shaped, roof homes, with the Kaskazi Bantus, like the Uriwi groups and some of the groups of Rwanda and Burundi and Uganda. Let me see. Yeah, and that's for that part. You know what I'm saying? This presentation. I'm gonna continue. This is part one. Next week, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna talk about this. You know what I'm saying? The koi and the spread of food production in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be talking about a lot about the Bantus too. The Bantu, you know what I'm saying, and the Kukazi and the Kuzi, you know what I'm saying, interactions with these koi or the koi people. And the koi would have been cattle herders. They were, you know what I'm saying, they would have been signed people who, you know what I'm saying, learned cattle herding. And we also gonna get into the Kusi and the Kakasi Bantu and their neighbors. You know what I'm saying? The southern ones and the northern ones. You know what I'm saying? 3000 BCE to 3,000 to 300 BCE to 300 CE. I'm gonna get into that. There's another source I want to show y'all too. I'm gonna open up the floors too if y'all want to, you know what I'm saying, come in, add on to the conversation, rap with me, whatever. It's another source I want to show y'all. There we go. Oh, real quick, guys. Stop sharing. Hold on, I'm show another source from the ancestral DNA source I got. Here we go. Damn, won't let me out of there. Here we go. I go to the home page. Here you go. Okay. Say books. Here you go. Ancestral DNA. Yeah. Let me share my screen one more time. Here we go. This book right here. Ancestral DNA, Human Origins and Migration. It's a big book too. Got like 1,000 some pages, thick ass book. I got this book in my storage. It's a digital copy. Let me see. Here we go. This book. You see, you know what I'm saying, say similar stuff that we've been saying. It's another source. It's about Bantu expansion. Bantu expansion, chapter 11. Bantu expansion. Let's say Sub-Saharan Africa is the most genetically diverse region in the world. Although Bantu dispersal is traditionally an intra-African migration, its impact is felt outside the continent. Uh, actively possessively, the Bantu phenomenon changed sub-Saharan Africa and beyond. It had a powerful homogenization effect, reducing the amount of diversity. The the end result of the Bantu expansion was the assimilation of Bantu way of life by the indigenous people and the elimination of many native singularities. This chapter veeds inside into the nature of the uh, uh, Bantu from their origins, in the Sparsus kingdoms and slavery into the New World and West Asia, based on the material evidence such as dwelling, pottery, and ceramic and ironworking. The DNA evidence of Bantu phenomenon is explained. This chapter also gives interesting information about the Bantu mythology. The chief reason why so many people are loath to admit the genetic variability of social and cultural significance traits are two. First, human uh, uh, equality is stubbornly confused with identity, and diversity with inequality as though to be entitled to an equality of opportunity. People will have to be identical twins. Human diversity is not incompatible with equality. Secondly, faulty to look. It is faulty to look for one-to-one correspondence between cultural forms and genetic traits. Cultural forms are not determined by genes, but their emergence and maintenance are made possible by genetically uh, content, uh, conditioned human diversity. I'm gonna say summary. In spite of the homogenizing effect of Bantu dissemination, sub-Saharan Africa is most genetically diverse region in the world. It is verbally, yeah, it is verbally that actively point to this region as the cradle of humanity. It is estimated that sub-Saharan Africa possesses over 90% of the total human genetic diversity. And it's a Bantu is a linguistic term. The word itself means people. The Proto-Bantu language had its uh, genesis in West Africa on the border region of what is today northern Cameroon and western Nigeria about 500 years ago. The Bantu expansion and the name given to the monumental migration that started 4,000 to 3,000 years ago. By definition, Bantu is a branch of a family made up made up by approximately five 500 languages. The Bantu branch within the Beni Congo family is the most widely spoken group of the languages. Within the Niger Supra language family, But I always say Niger Godoffian. You know what I'm saying? Even Niger Congo is a branch of Niger Godoffian. It's the mother language of all these languages. Niger Godoffian is what connects. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? These West Sudanian cultures to the east. You know what I'm saying? Around the Nile, the Western Nile basin areas. You know what I'm saying? A long time ago. I'm gonna say about 60 million people speak Bantu languages today. The term narrow Bantu is often used to discriminate between the more conclusive Bantoid languages from the more restrictedly defined Bantu. Today, the Bantu languages with the largest total number of peoples is Swahili, and what is thought of as a sort of lingua franca. The signatures of the signals of this major human dispersal were initially detected with linguistic notice language similarities among groups of people throughout the sub-Saharan Africa. Subsequently, these uh, uh, vernacular uh, parallelisms were supported by finding from a number of fields, including art, archaeology, architecture, anthropology, culture, and genetics, mythology, technology. Genetics clearly indicate that observed shared characteristics among Bantu populations are not just the result of uh, uh, acculturation or transfer of knowledge, but actually movement of people admixing with local groups and passing their genes to them. Although the Bantu dispersal is traditionally an intra-African migration, its impact is in fact felt outside the continent. It can be argued that the transatlantic slave trade that brought native Africans into America and East African slave trade that supplied forced laborers of Muslim ports to West Asia or extensions of this diaspora. Considering that a good number of the captors were Bantu, according to the orthodoxy, the expansion may have been driven by overpopulation and need for more land, uh, tribal conflict, disease, and or climate changes such as drought. Yet it is not clear to what degree the movement was self conscious, as opposed to the opportunistic farmer just looking for better uh, uh, agricultural land, and in process displacing endogenousness, uh, endogenous population. A number of innovation including agriculture, new crops, bananas, jam, bulrush, millet, sugarcane, etc., and ironworking technologies like the likely facilitated the spread. Although iron technology may not have been invented or introduced, Bantus and travelers did not initially practice it. It is postulated that allowed them to exploit forest niches in Central Africa. It is thought that iron technology and agriculture complicated each other because the metal allowed the clearing of forests and then in turn provided hardwood provided hardwood for purification of the ore. The outcomes of the expansion include permanent and larger settlements, because of their captivity, because of their capacity to the store food for lean times utilization of this deserved ecological systems and crops at different times of the year. In addition, the Bantu expansion resulted in establishment of centralized government systems and kingdoms. The Great Zimbabwe allowing, allowing for efficient trade within Bantu domain, and with Arab and Persian traders, as well as the assimilation and or elimination of many native populations. The Bantu have impacted a number of autochthonous groups throughout Africa, including the Cushitic, Pygmy, San, and Nilo-Sahareans, among others. That's what we've been reading all night. The scientific community actively debates the punitive migration routes and the dispersal timeline. The particular point of contention is whether the spread occurred throughout two different paths, a western and an eastern corridor, or from their homeland, or just one southward along West Africa, traversing into East Africa. Recently, about 1,500 years ago, another intriguing tradition is the number of interactions between the encroaching Bantus and the natives, especially during the initial contact. It is likely that the local groups were marginalized towards to less dispersed lands by the technologically superior Bantus. Linguistic studies indicate that the Bantu language was in fact native uh, languages differently from one individual basis throughout the continent, whereas genetics indicate that Bantu and non-Bantu populations have assimilated various proportion of each other DNA depending on the population in question. Show this map. I see that break off. Niger Congo language family. See Niger Congo, Niger Kadophians, the whole family. One breaks off to Niger Congo. You see all the other languages, Atlantic, Mindi, Gutter. And Gur is related to Adamawa, Ubangian, Way, Bini Congo, Adamawa right here, Eastern. Here you got Kadophian. Kadophian is, you see, Niger Kadophian, the actual Kadophian branch is still in Sudan today, in the Kadophian area, in the Nuba and in the Nuba Mountains. Here's some of the languages right here. Rashad, Katab, Taladi, Heban. Yeah. Yep, that's about it. Add the you might want to add to the channel. Join. Put the cash app up. Cash app the channel if you like. Please like and subscribe. Algae Podcast. It's your boy Gullah Betty. And put the link in the chat. True. is, Jalen. There you go. Hmm, there we go. All right, put the link in the chat. No, no, Southeast Atlantic is not related to Niger Congo language fam. Niger Kadofan is not Nilotic. You have Kadofan languages that are Nilotic, that are titled Nilotic, but they're not part of the same family. You got Nilotic Kadofan language, that's a region. You got languages in that region that's like in the Niger Kadofan family, which is actually proto Niger Congo. What's good with it, bro? What's good with it? No, extra, but no, they ain't related though. They different languages in the area. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got Kadofan languages. Make sure, hold on. Make sure what I'm talking about.
Okay, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah,
Not much. I just wanted to say great, great, great presentation. uh, it's pretty damn late for me. It's almost 3 o'clock, but I want to say this. When it comes to this YouTube stuff and people presenting and giving information, even if it's subjective at times,
yeah.
you come in with the objective truth.
Right on, bro.
Like, Gala, we all have families and we're busy with life, but why do the people who spew the most biased information have more time than the people who can teach?
I
Like,
don't know, man. I don't know, bro.
like I shake my head when other people stream, and I'm like I'm in chats, and I'm like, I'm screaming your name, I'm screaming Ngozi. I'm like, those guys are busy, but they're actually objective and they share the information. And then I see people who come into your chat sometimes, like, I'm not gonna say too much about Banu, but he needs to go visit his home country and actually connect with the people from his home country so they can slap him upside the head. Like, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, he be tripping. I don't know what he be on.
The thing is, the actually courses exist in post-secondary school, universities, which we call in Canada,
Yeah,
colleges, which is what is called in America. You guys have community colleges. We call
yeah,
that college. In Canada, what we call university is what you guys call college. So understanding the terminology makes a difference. And the doctor, he has he calls himself a doctor, but he hasn't taken the courses that teach the ability to understand um biases.
yeah.
And
He,
then this is when I say it doesn't matter if he went to university, college. or any post-secondary courses, if you don't understand what a bias is and go through that information and learn the actual facts, then you're just gonna spew BS when you speak to other people, especially online.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And his excuse is, I'm retired, so I can be racist. Then my response to you is this:
That don't mean
I don't
nothing.
give a fuck.
That
Excuse
don't
my
mean
language.
that don't mean he retired. Shoot, I know people that's retired that's broke. They get a little bit of money a month. That don't mean nothing.
Bro, his excuse is, I'm retired, so I don't have to learn anything. I don't care if you're retired. Don't bring your BS to us. Go tell that stuff to your family so they can stroke your ego. When I'm retired, I hope somebody can smack me upside the head if I'm not willing to learn. Like, I'm not kidding. It's embarrassing for me to go online and spew some misinformation and disrespect my children. So when they grow up, they look bad. Look how dumb your father was.
Yeah. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. I'm gonna show me state. You gotta show me. Let me read this real quick for Astro real quick.
Read it.
Right here say and I read this before on another show. He probably didn't catch it. I talked about this before when I first started this, going to the Niger Congo migrations. I talk about the early Niger Cadoffian peoples would have inhabited regions west of the Nile and west of early Nilo-Saharians. The lands probably included the Nuba Mountains and areas extending south and west from there across the southwestern parts of the Middle Nile Basin. Virtually no archaeological information exists at all yet for this region for Africa for any period of human history whatsoever. So early history of Niger Cadoffian people is as yet a blank page. The Niger Cadoffian family divides into two primary branches, but we do got like most of the evidence is mostly linguistic evidence. You know what I'm saying? For the people. I'm gonna say, and like the people that's still there, you still got Cadoffian people still there. You know what I'm saying in that region, even though we don't have actual archaeological stuff, the people there are the proof. You know what I'm saying? And they say the Niger Congo Cadoffian family divides into two primary branches: the Niger Congo and the Cadoffian. That's right. When I showed that chart earlier, that's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The Niger Congo and the Godolphin. They say the early speakers of Niger Congo branches moved out of this region, establishing themselves far to the west in West Africa between about 12,000 to 9,500 BCE. Scholars know a great deal about their civilization and history since 9,500 BCE, and the beginning of the history will be a major theme of chapter 3. The Cadoffian branch today consists of small but linguistically diverse set of peoples who have resided in for thousands of years in and around the Nuba Mountains. How the Cadoffian societies fit into a wider frame of African history will be an interesting problem for future historians and archaeologists to consider. Yep, that's what I was trying to break down to the brother. You still there? I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, bro. I'm right here. I'm listening, and I also want to make sure that Astra is able to like listen and hear this information that you shared. Um, I will say this about Astro. Me and Astro have butted heads in the past. However, whenever I do talk to him, he seems like a brother that is willing to listen, take a step back, share resources, and acknowledge his point of view.
Yeah.
The one thing I can say is this: we most of us can have our own subjective view. And
Mm-hmm.
as a doctor tries to shame me for my education, I have to say this at one point. I have been fortunate enough to get high level of education. However, I am intelligent enough to understand that education doesn't mean intelligence.
No, I don't.
So
I mean,
therefore,
you just passed it. You know how to pass the test to get the
e-
degree.
exactly, and even push through. So therefore, what I'm going to say is this: just because I was able to push through and get the education needed because of the circumstances I was involved in and the benefits I've had in my life doesn't mean that I need to come online to boast about my education in order to say this what qualifies me. There's
Mm-hmm.
people who had less education than me that I sit back and I learn from. All my education has done for me is this,
Oh, shit.
not intelligence, job. That's
My
it.
bad. Hold on.
See that? You're gonna be on the phone, but I'm gonna say this to people.
Yeah,
My
my
education,
phone had went off. I mean, my thing had went off by my bad.
I got you. What I'm gonna say is this, my brother. Education has allowed me to get the job, a job that I wanted, and a pay that is more than I thought I ever could make. It does not speak of my intelligence. So therefore, I'm not gonna come online and speak about education and what level of education I have and try to disrespect people for where they have been in life. I will, however, question you when you say you have a doctorate, but you don't understand biases.
Mm-hmm.
That is weak as fuck. You come in here being racist. You're a doctor. You don't understand genetics. You can't read history, and you spew Western racist talking points. Good for you. You just embarrassed your whole education and what you paid for in your family.
Mm-hmm.
What else can I say? Like, you're online with people who have education, but understand that that doesn't mean shit other than get what you get paid for.
Mm-hmm.
I sit here and listen to people who have less education than me, and I'm growing, I'm learning as a person. It don't mean anything. I spent money to learn shit to get me money. They were smart enough not to do that. Like what?
Mm-hmm.
Gala, am I wrong, my brother?
No, you right. He crazy. Yeah, he wild. Yeah, you right, bro. Yeah.
What I'll say is this. We need to stop this European loving biased information coming into a community that is from African descent and at times darker skin and try to tell them what they are and disrespecting them.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to run into people that read and they're going to start seeing your biases.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to make you look bad.
I was showing this to the screen right here. I showed this screen. I showed this before, but I don't think Astro been on a few came in on a few channels, I mean, a few episodes. But it's the Nigel Godolphin people here, where they, this map is dating what 16,000 BCE, 16,000 BCE map, probably like a 20,000 to 16,000. You know what I'm saying? These people would have been in these particular regions. Niger Godolphians. You see here, even in West Africa, it wasn't no Niger Congo language in West Africa yet. You had last persistent Middle Stone Age cultures, which was like West African hunter gatherers, mixed in with archaic humans or whatever. You had the Patois people. These would have been, but Patois people would have been related to these people, these Middle Stone Age West African hunter gatherer culture. So even though in this time the Khoi sign still would have been up here, what I'm saying, East African macroliths. The Afro-Asiatic people, what I'm saying, these would have been their ancestral regions before traveling up here, mixing in with Eastern Iranian or Iranian. Iranian is synonymous with Iberian Marusian. Same thing. It's just another term. Like you can even say Iranian or you can say Iberian Maroon. Same shit. You know what I'm saying? You got the Nilo-Saharan ancestral lands right here, which is the southern Middle Nile. This is the northern Middle Nile here. This is the southern Middle Nile.
Exactly. Look, Pure Black is getting mad right now because he's reading you guys stop fighting and killing each other yet. Dr. Banoop, you're a doctor. Can you please speak with a higher um intelligence and informed level of comprehension for once? Like you coming in with racist attacking people, you guys. How do you have a doctorate, but you can't be objective and have a conversation with people online?
What do you say? What are you talking about? You guys.
Exactly, like
Stop
you
fighting.
guys.
What you mean? Killing we human beings kill each other. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Man, I'm getting out of here.
Ashra, the Tutsis and Hutsis do kill each other, but the thing is, you have to understand they see the differences within each other and they want to take over the country or the economy. So therefore, you have to understand what how do you say this? Like different people, different groups of people fighting for resources.
Yeah, I gave Pure Black. I went on here and gave Pure Black a rent. Shit, he need a rent. He been supporting the channel for a while. Shit.
No, he do. Pure Black is fucking real.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, bro. It's late night. I'm eating food and I should be in bed. My wife's gonna kill me in the morning.
Yeah, my wife out kicking it with her homegirl.
My wife's is sleeping right now, and my son's gonna wake up in like fucking 3 hours. He's gonna
Oh,
yell at me.
yeah.
Yo, go like real talk. I'm gonna be real with you. As people go throwing around this word, the master teacher. You're my master teacher, man, and I wish I could talk to you outside of the streams and other stuff at one point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta give you my number and shit on messages.
You don't even have to do that. You have me on I have my personal Discord. You have me on there.
Oh yeah.
You see my Discord. That's my
Yeah.
Discord. You seen the numbers.
Oh yeah. I forgot all about that. I gotta engage in it. I gotta go back into it.
It's like my Discord is laid back and they don't talk too much. It's because I became laid back, but I built that up from gaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's real. It's real talk, man.
Yeah, I want pure black of it in there too. If I can show my Discord, please let me know. I would love to have pure black and Astro. Well, pure black and Astro, yeah. But Dr. Banoop, you're getting attacked if you come in there. You're getting banned.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he out of there.
Yeah. My Discord is chill. We barely talk, but they know I'm about my shit. I work, I got my stuff together, I game, and when it comes to Gala and Gozi, those are my master teachers. As well as Juju, bro. I respect Juju. I have to say that she's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Egypt right now.
Yeah, I respect it. Yeah, I respect that hard too. What games you be playing, man?
Bro, I'm a gamer. Like I wish you knew. Like that's the thing is, there's so much I don't share online that if I shared it with you in person, like chatting, bro, I'll be real with you.
I like open world games, man. That's what I
I'll play a game called Destiny. Okay, it's not fully open world, but it's
like.
an
My
MMO.
son, my son played this. My son probably shoot. My son will probably whoop you in it. He
Yo,
cold.
yo, he probably cold, but I've been playing it since the
He only
beta
he
of
only he
Destiny
only
1.
13, he only 13 years old. He cold. Like he dope. Like
Yo, bro,
all this. He like he live and breathe that shit.
I've been playing that game since he was like fucking 2 years old, bro. I've been
Yeah.
playing that. He
Yeah.
he whooped my ass because the thing is, as you age, the reflexes and the commitment is different. Your son is more committed and he has better reflexes than I'll ever have now at this age. I've been playing that game since
Yeah.
he was in diapers.
Yeah, he been playing for a long time. He even had like he's like he had the act when he was playing with action figures. He had all the toys and all that shit.
bro. Yeah, bro, we're
He got
family, man.
bro, he got Destiny, bro. He got Destiny boots. He got like like some type of designer boots with the Destiny logo, like the ghost logo on his boot.
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. I want your son in my Discord.
I'm gonna
Yo,
tell him about it too. I'm
yo,
gonna try to set him up.
tell him I was playing the new DLC tonight. The new whatever the hell it is. The new
Yeah,
Yeah, I was playing it tonight with my boy. That's why when I saw you stream, I'm like, God damn, I missed out on this.
yeah.
My
He
ship,
always trying to hit me. He always trying to hit me up for silver dust and shit.
Silver Dust. Oh my goodness, bro, tell him I'll give him Silver Dust as my freaking nephew. I don't
Yeah.
care. I, f-
He always bragging about how many legendary weapons he got and shit.
Bro, I got that exotic. I got the legendary
Yeah, the
weapon.
exotic. Yeah, the exotic. Let me say the exotic.
Bro, let me send you my ship right now. Let me find you on Discord. If you can
Yeah.
pull up.
He still he'll play Destiny 2, but he said he like Destiny 1 better than 2.
Yo, one was way better than two. I'm gonna be real with you. Um, but the thing is, we moved on, and Destiny 1, what they did was they did updates, and it doesn't feel the same as anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
But bro, right now I have to send you my ship somehow on the Discord, and you're gonna laugh your ass off because the thing is, everything is mythology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to Discord and look at your picture I sent you right now. This is my ship that I'm flying around.
Oh, let me see. Dang. Let me see. Go to the Discord. Yeah, I like the open world games. I like
Well,
Assassin's Creed and right now I'm playing Far Cry 6.
I haven't heard of 456, but Assassin's Creed, I used to love that game.
Yeah, I like Far Cry 6. I like the Ghost of Tsushima. I got a game called Ancest. It's called Ancestors, a Human Odyssey.
Yeah.
And it's like you basically start off as an Australopithecine, and you like use a survival game and shit. You can even evolve and all that shit on that game. It go all the way up to Homo erectus and shit.
Bro, you're a nerd as hell.
Yeah,
You're that freaking science teacher playing video games.
that motherfucker hard.
But I'm gonna be real with you. Destiny is like a community building game. It's a first person shooter. It's semi open world. It's
Oh, that's your ship.
competitive.
That's your ship right there.
You see my ship?
Oh yeah. I'm a hard. Yeah, it's like a pyramid and shit.
Damn famous ship. I couldn't get because I wasn't playing at the time because I was busy with because sometimes I do take courses in order to like upgrade my stuff for work.
Yeah,
So I was busy with courses and I didn't get to get the ship that I wanted. It's a ship that looks like a bird.
yeah,
So the second best ship is this now for me. So I got the pyramid ship since I couldn't get the damn bird.
damn.
Because mythology wise, Somalis, they have the
Yeah,
ancient Wak religion, and the Wak
yeah,
religion is based on like a bird or whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I really wanted the bird. So if I can't get the bird, I always get the ship because the Egypt and my country, we've always had like some kind of ties, even till today. When Ethiopia is like disrespected or land, Egypt
yeah,
comes in and they're like, they come to my country. They're like, you want us to send army to your country to help you out?
yeah. Hey man, what's the name of the it was a queen in Somalia, bro. She kind of reminded me of the queen of Ethiopia, Judith, the Jewish queen.
I
But in
forgot her name.
Somalia,
Awal or something. Awal something. I know who you're talking about.
yeah, because even like women that's named that, you know what I'm saying? They like, some women that got bad reputation and shit. But they said it was like she ruled Somalia and she ruled so hard, you know what I'm saying? Like they said a woman can't ever rule again and shit.
Yo, yeah, her name was like
She
Awa
was
Lilo or
fucking over
something like.
men. She was fucking the men over and all type of shit.
Yeah, her name was like Awa Lilo or something like that. She was a badass, man.
Yeah, that's her name. Yeah, she was wild.
The thing is, when it comes to like king and queen in the Somali language, because we're Krishatic,
Yeah,
it's the same thing. We call it like Bokar and Bokarat. And when I say Bokar, it means king. When I say Bokarat with a T, this is the Afro-Asiatic coming in, the feminine T.
yeah,
It feminizes the Bokar.
yeah. Same
Bokarat.
thing. It's like she basically kind of because that Kentucky tradition, that shit, that's like some Afro-Asiatic tradition. Like Egyptians had that, like
Yep,
it had a region queen, like it had Shepsut and shit. You
yep.
had Queen Makeda, you know what I'm saying, Queen Udit, then you had the Kentucky queens and shit. Like all that shit was like, you know what I'm saying, when the men couldn't rule, the women to rule and shit.
No, exactly. The king and the queen, it's not, we don't have a king and a queen. We just have pretty much a queen, king queen,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah.
Like Hatshepsut, she's an Egyptian, but she claimed lineage to the punt.
Mm-hmm. This is like with King Menelik, you know what I'm saying, the second.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? His wife, I can't think of her name. But she was from Beckendor, Gondor. But she like when Italians came, she didn't trust the Italians. Like she was like, "Nah, don't sign them fucking papers." She the one pointed out that the papers that they were trying to give them was a trick. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause she said this shit. She said, you know, we need somebody to translate that in Amharic. You know what I'm saying? Because they wrote some in Italian that was different what they wrote in their language.
see, she's fucking smart because
Yeah,
sometimes the men, they're gonna be like, yo, sign it, sign it, sign it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, the thing is, there's nuances that happen in the region. And when I come on like some streams and I say there's nuances, people who are biased are like, oh, nuances is something we have to watch out from. That's pseudo. I'm like, no, the thing is, if you don't understand the nuances, you're gonna go one extreme or the other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And look right here, look right here. We had diversity. This this 22,000. This right here describing that map I showed. It say northeastern Africa, 22,000 to 12,700 BCE. It said immediately north of East Africa lay another region of key significance for African history in the last glacial maximum.
Yeah.
The earliest speech territories of three major language families of Africa clustered in these regions. It say Nilo-Saharan between the Nile and the western edges of the Ethiopian highlands, Afrasian, also called Afrasiatic in the highlands, and Niger Kaddofian in today South Sudan,
Boom.
probably in the areas immediately west of the Nile. The southern Ethiopian highlands were even then a land of relatively high rainfall, and southern Sudan possessed a large area with both permanently and seasonal available surface water, even with the lower flow rates in the Nile in those times. The archaeologist Seven Brent has argued that because of these environmental advantages, animal and plant food resources were more plentiful, and so these areas became population refugia during this arid period. The peoples of this region stand off in one notable respect for their social histories from the Khoisan and the Batwa. Unlike the societies further south in Africa, the peoples in South Sudan and the Horn of Africa all seem to have developed a lineal descent system during the span of the last glacial maximum. That's what we all. That's what we all got in common. You know what I'm saying?
That
Unlinear descent systems. You know, that's what Niger Congo, Nile Saharians, Afro-Asiatic group got in common. We all cluster out of that same area.
and that speaks of Africa. Like
Yeah,
that's why I try to like speak to people. I'm like, um, certain regions are closer to other places outside of Africa. Yes, they have their intermixes, but you have to look at the timeline in order to understand the connection within the continent at the same time.
yeah,
And there's people that look at the connection within the connection of within Africa, and then they move the timeline even closer than it should be, and they try to erase certain groups' history to claim it.
yeah. Like one point in time, it had to be like early Afro-Asiatic people and not early, not like the ancestors of Niger Kadofan people was one people at one point in time. They call from them E markers, E1B1A, and E1B1B or siblings. You know what I'm saying?
I love you saying that. Let me ask you this: when before the split, or even right after the split, what was their skin tone?
They were like some Nilo-Saharan branch offs.
So
The
they
Nilo,
weren't white.
the Nilo-Saharans are the most basal group, even though they had contemporary groups that still was contemporaries of later Niger Congo Afro-Asian groups. They still represent a more basal population, more basal group. So like Niger Kadophians and an early Amadic group would have been some type of offshoot or some type of pre-proto Nilotic or Nilo-Saharan type population. You know what I'm saying?
So then, would you say that they were of darker skin rather than being white and blonde hair like Mr. Dr. Banu wants to claim Egypt will always?
No, they was darker skinned. They didn't become lighter until they start uh like even like when they went to the highlands and shit. You know what I'm saying? They probably got a little lighter, more like a little reddish. You know what I'm saying? Like when you dealing with some Amadic groups, and then some like northern Amadic groups, they would have started mixing with Basal Eurasians coming in from Arabia, and then that mixture would have created the Eretric populations, and then the Eretric population would have traveled along the Red Sea hills and went up north, and then mixed with some Iberian Marusian type motherfuckers, and you know what I'm saying. Later on, during the midst of middle of the Heliocene, they probably would have got lighter, mixing with other groups coming in from what I'm saying, Western Asia, bringing in SLC, what I'm saying, genes. But even them coming in, bringing them in, they would have had some little bit of Natufian ancestry. Even the original Natufians wasn't super light. You know what I'm saying? They come from like mixtures of Iberian Marusian and them Eretric Afro-Asiatic people. You know what I'm saying? They would have mixed in with the indigenous West Eurasian populations, and then back migrated back in, bringing in, you know what I'm saying, markers that's already related to these indigenous East African markers anyway, just coming in as a hybrid.
As that happens, the thing is, I always try to say this. I fight for modern Egyptians being the ancient Egyptians, right?
Yeah,
However, when people come in and say that ancient Egyptians were always white, this is what I say. My history alone kills y'all.
yeah, they still ain't all super light. If you look at the people like what Kara Cooney said, we look at the people of Luxor, you know what I'm saying? Look at the people of Mina, you know what I'm saying? They still look like damn near look like Horners and shit. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? You still got that element there. And even in the light skin was just like Puerto Rico, you know what I'm saying, or Cuba, you know what I'm saying. You still have a super light dude with a fucking big ass uh uh Congo nose. Or just like in Egypt, you'll have a super light dude with a big lip who still got big ass lips or something, or he'll still have a fucking melodic looking ass nose or a Niger Gaddafian looking ass nose or something. You know what
No, no, exactly.
I'm
And even if they want to ignore that part, I'm gonna send you a
saying?
picture right now on Discord, okay? I want you
Yeah,
to look at this picture, okay?
yeah,
This is a Somali with an Egyptian. Two Somali guys with an Egyptian. Who's the black guy? Laugh your ass off, bro.
Damn, damn. You can't tell. Yeah, you can't tell. They
You can't
related.
tell.
Just think
They're
about it, bro.
related.
This picture, bro. This picture is basically we basically looking at when Hatshepsut sent her people down to punt.
Exactly. She looks at them, she's like, my brothers. And she started claiming that her family came from Punt.
They already said they was cousins and shit. You know what I'm saying?
They're cousins, but she started claiming that her family came from that region.
Yeah, yeah. They
The
called
thing
it. That's what they call it, the land of the gods or something. You know what I'm saying?
It's like people want to say they have long heads, phenotype, this, phenotype. If you find a dead Egyptian, you find a dead Somali, you're not gonna tell the difference.
Yeah, all they has got. What's them? All of them got long heads. Told you
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference between those bones. That's why I laugh at people who come in with a bias in order to like be a little bit racist, but they don't understand their biases because they haven't taken the courses to see that while they're reading information.
Mm-hmm. It don't matter if they ginger blonde. It's Somalians that got ginger blonde hair.
That's the
It,
thing. They don't get it.
It's North Sudanians with ginger blonde hair. It don't matter, bro. You crazy. That's from the sun. You know what I'm saying? The sun do that.
The sun, the food. We have Somalis that are more light skinned than some Egyptians.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Like,
I ain't seen Aga or and Amhara people with fucking blonde streaks.
that's the thing. Objective reasoning is needed in this community. Um, we have people that come in and they want to push a narrative. And
Yeah,
what
and
I say
punting is
is
not
this:
a damn myth. Stop lying. Punting is not a myth. What are you talking about?
Punt is considered a myth.
You retarded.
See, he's so desperate that he wants to call them a myth.
Hold on, let's get into it, bro. You wild
This,
on that.
this
You
I
want to be you a pseudo. You a pseudo.
he's a super pseudo. That's why I appreciate your streams because the thing is, other people they want to stick to like Northeast Africa. You share like Central Africa, West Africa, North Africa, South Africa, and I feel like I finally get to see the full picture, like a full movie, instead of somebody like playing a movie for me and they skip certain parts in order to like push a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So I do appreciate the fact that you speak about Central Africa, West Africa. Like earlier tonight, you were speaking of like the Bantus and Malawi, and I've heard about a couple of things about Malawi at times, and I'm like, yo, I'm really interested in Malawi and how that came to be and the people of it.
Oh
They're,
yeah.
they're Bantu history, but the thing is, they're the African family, and I want to learn more about them.
Mm-hmm. Look, here we go. Look.
Like
Punch.
woolly hair. East Africa doesn't like, bro. Go travel, man. Woolly hair. That's your racism showing up.
No damn myth. Get out of here with that bullshit, bro. Even the science proved punt because of the isotopes of the damn baboons. Fuck you talking about?
He hasn't read the recent material because the thing is, it goes against what he believes in. What's funny is this: he's an American Egyptian.
Yeah, he don't know. He ignorant.
He's ignorant. Egyptians disagree with you. I have people who never left Egypt, and they're gonna laugh at you and say, "Please don't let him represent us."
Damn, look, they got the damn look. Doing, look right here. They say doing the copper carved amulets. Uh, pop the. Say what is that? Pop a flammable liquid, central carbon. It say in other goods transported over land and down to the Dead Sea. No. It say during the reign. No, it say during the reign of Queen Hatshepsut, the 15th century BCE, ships regularly crossed the Red Sea in order to obtain bitumen. They said they had to obtain. Hold on though. Is that a dagger to smash?
It's a dagger to smash.
They had to go across the Red Sea to get vitamin.
It's a dinosaur smash. You don't want to hear
Yeah,
nothing about the Red Sea
I
and
thought
Bitterman.
vitamin was from the Nile. They had to go across the ocean.
Exactly. Yo, but noob, listen to what Gullah just said right now. That's called objective thinking.
This is what vitamin even actually is. It's a merely vigorous uh, constitute of petroleum. Depending on the extract composition, it can be sticky black liquid and importantly solid mass that behaves as a liquid over very large time scales. In the US, the material is commonly referred to as asphalt. Oh, it's asphalt. Fucking concrete or some shit.
Well, people read like a paragraph and they look for the words that agree with them and they run with it. That's smash. And that's Dr. Banu. Look at this. Astro right now is trying to tell him you can't deny the Nilotic admixture in modern and ancient Egyptians. And then he responds with the hair shafts on the Ramses the Greek's mummy have been forensically analyzed to proven it's indeed a ginger. He so wants to be a freaking Irish person.
Yeah. So what is a ginger? You had ginger here and there. You got ginger. You got ginger. You got ginger West Africans. What are you talking about?
I can't.
It's
Bro,
ginger West African. It's people, bro. Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Let's get it. Let's get into it, bro. Hold on. Let me show him something.
hook
Let me
'em.
let me show him something, bro. This is one of my favorite artists. It's one of my favorite Afro fusion artists. Hold on. His name is Buju.
He wants to be a redhead so badly that he's willing to disrespect his ancestors.
Buju Benson. Let me show you who this Buju Ben. He was used to be part of he from Nigeria. He used to be part of he an artist now, but he used to be part of Burna Boy's management team. Not Buju Bantu. Look, they looked at the wrong person. Benson.
You had to mention Burna Boy, right? I'm gonna have to go listen to his music tonight before I go to bed.
Oh yeah, it's my dude, man. My boy.
Likewise.
Look at this dude. He ginger. Look at him. He a Nigerian.
Share that, man. Let me see this.
It's my dude, Benson. Look at him. He fucking ginger. Look at him. Red boy. Better closer picture.
Wait, I can't see him. Maybe I gotta play your stream.
You gotta hit. Oh, I'm tripping. I ain't shut the screen. That's why I'm tripping.
Yeah, share the stream, bro.
I'm tripping. Shut the screen.
I'm about to laugh my ass off. Here we go.
Here we
Here
go.
we go.
Here we go. Look at my boy here. Here we go. Yeah. Uju Benson. Look at that boy Ginger. Look at his red. Look at his red beard.
Yo, but noob, is this guy white Irish?
He's from Nigeria, boy. Get out of here. You don't even understand. You don't even understand how skin works. You don't understand melanin, none of that. You ain't read. You ain't never read Ninja Jablowski book.
Well, he only reads stuff in order to be freaking a Caucasian level bias information like Hitler.
Mm-hmm. You don't know what he talking about. I know. I got caramel brown skin homies with like he had. I got a homie that he got like a red hair on his chin.
I'm gonna be trying to be objective with this idiot right now. Bantu is so-called Egyptian.
It's Bijou people that have it's Bijou people that have reddish hair.
There you go.
It don't matter. Shoot, that shit bounce in and out. It don't matter. The lightest Egyptian can have that reddish hair, and the darkest Egyptian can have that reddish hair. It's just called ginger disease. It happens.
The darker Egyptians than freaking East Africans.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have the same phenotype at the same time. So we see racism when people from different groups of the region come in. We see who is racist and who is not. Banoob, you're American raised, you claim Egypt, you come in with European talking points that is racist, you don't read, and you have a doctor behind your name. Something is off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, something is off.
He always look like he high on something.
He
Eyes
he
y'all lost him. So.
no, he's hiding something. Something is off. Uh, he comes in with like talking points sometimes is like Egypt is older than the name Africa. Um, the continent is older than the name older than the name Egypt or Africa. So when you say stuff like that, it just shows that you're coming in with some dumb talking points. The whole continent is older than most of the names the continent or countries are called. The continent is diverse.
Yeah, we had ginger people like this sometimes.
Like, look at the pictures he's showing. I can't. I gotta show this to my wife tomorrow so she can smile.
You know what I'm saying? You can have some ginger Africans here and there.
Whoa, those are amazing pictures.
Look, look.
So that's Ramesses' parents, man.
I ain't saying that they was this, but you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm gonna say it. Because if we want to be biased and have a biased talking points, I can do the same thing. We
Yeah.
don't know what he would have looked like. He could look like one of these guys.
We could look like
Look up the history of sunscreen. What a fool. Bro, at one point, your ancestors were dark skinned.
Yeah, you have to mix.
So
Just
go
like a
run.
just like a damn Puerto Rican or Colombian or something. Or Mexican.
Exactly. I like that comparison. So now go run back to your sunscreen information. Um, what I'm gonna say is this, Gala,
Yeah.
when it comes to genetics, the paternal line, EV32 split from EV12, right?
You said EV32. I gotta look it up.
E1B1B EV32 comes from EV12, which is Egyptian. EV32 is the horn.
Oh yeah.
They were
Yep.
dark skinned.
Yep.
You didn't have light skinned Arab looking people come down to the south and intermix with darker people. You had darker skinned East African people looking coming down, mixing with Proto-Nilotic people, coming and then intermixing with Omotic people after that. So when they came down to the Horn, they intermixed with people who look like them anyways,
Mm-hmm.
which means ancient Egyptians were darker skin like East Africans.
No, look at this little girl. No, look at that little girl. Look. Look at this little Malayan girl from Mali.
And she is what? A redhead.
Yep. Straight redhead. He wild. He crazy.
Sourced up. Doctor, what do you want me to source up with? The fact that Evie, bro, God, do I have to pull it up for this guy?
Redhead skin. I know that's probably okra on his beard though. That's a Somali. That's a Somalian right there.
That's a Somali, bro. That's a Somali right there. But the thing is, I'm not a one to discriminate against Bantu Somalis and Somalis. I'm one to unite. I'm one to call out my own people because at the end of the day, I have been influenced by
Bro,
North
look at his,
American
look
black
at his shit
people.
though. Look at that shit in his head. Hmm. This is Sudanese. This is Sudanese dude. I know he got the three. He got the markers on his face. Look at his hair. Look at his hair. His hair blonde as fuck.
But so that doesn't mean he's white?
No.
Gala, I just sent you a link right now. It's the phylogenetic tree.
Yeah, I know Palestinians with red hair and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's not even common amongst them. What you just send me the tree?
Yep. And Astro is like ancient Egyptians diverse in color. I agree with Astro. But before the light skin gene activated, they would have been of a darker skin tone. They would not have been nilotic.
No, that
They,
wouldn't have been a lot of. That would have been like a like even before like when the northern what Christopher Eric called North Eritrea Afro-Asiatic speaking populations where y'all language even come from in the first place before they even mixed with the Iberian Marusian groups and the indigenous North African groups. Them North Africans wouldn't have been that light either.
they
You
would
know what
not
I'm
have
saying?
been.
They would have had like, of course, wavy looking hair and all that shit, you know what I'm saying, certain features, but they wouldn't have been super light,
They
you know,
wouldn't.
not at that period. And then and then Egyptians, they would have been still been like a reddish, brownish type people. Not super dark like a lot of Saharians, but we still would have probably a dark person here and there. It's
No,
like you could have a group of 4 people, and you might have a lot of them might be reddish, but you might have an outlier of a super dark one or something. You know what I'm saying?
no, that's
But
true.
but still have like an aquiline type features at the same time.
But
You know what
the
I'm saying?
the picture I sent you, that's not a nilotic, but they're not white. Egyptians, modern day, still have some of those tones.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he's like source up, bro, I'm sending the phylogenetic tree, which is like basic as it can get to Gullah right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you click it, you're gonna see the E1B1B, you're gonna see EV12, and you're gonna see where EV32 sits. And it's gonna give you the name. How are you a doctor and you can't even do basic research?
No, you're a damn charlatan. You're a damn charlatan. That's what it is.
Yep.
Look at this Amadic lady, Hamor lady. She look at her features. There you consider her. They call her a caucasoid.
From the future. People don't understand this. If 1,000 years from now people look back and they read, oh, East Africans were considered Caucasoids, they're gonna start saying, oh, they were white, they were olive skin, they were this. No, they were dark skinned people who had bone structure that would be considered Caucasoid when they were found dead.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't understand those specific nuances, and then you look at the genetics and they're like, oh, they cluster more with certain people, then you're gonna be the one spewing biased information. Like, look at the pictures right now Gal is sharing.
Look at this lady. She Amadic. They would have called her caucasoid.
And Gozi shared this one time. There was like a Somali person found in the United States. They found after they died, they found their bones. And they classified them as like a white person killed.
Yeah, yeah.
This is what I'm trying to say the whole time. Like 3000 BC, the first sunscreen protection began with Egyptians. Bro, that's only 5,000 years ago.
Let me see. Let me see.
Yeah, somebody got like a lot of love. I love you, Gala. Whoever just said that, bro, I got much love for Gullah. I don't know how to say this. Weekly, I'm like, I hope Gullah streams because sometimes I listen to stupid stuff on people streaming, and I'm always like, if only Gullah had as much time as you idiots, the community can actually grow and learn.
Yeah, that's my wife. I love you too, baby. That's my wife said
Oh,
that.
that's your wife?
Yeah.
Yo, Gullah's wife. Your husband is a freaking genius. He's rare, he's unique, he's amazing. You got taste. I don't know what to say. You got taste. I gotta turn on the camera just to say, you got taste, lady. Great job. Well, Gullah, I don't know how to say this to you, man. Power to the ladies, man. How long have you guys been together, if you don't mind me asking on stream?
About 10 years.
Oh man, respect.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, I feel disrespectful. Where's my camera? Let me put on my makeup. No Diddy.
Red hair.
There we go.
In Sudan.
Sonic, forget about sleeping to beef with Dr. Banu. Astro, I got you, bro. I'll back off. I appreciate that comment. Thank you, bro. I'm here tired and I'm also eating, so now I have itis, if you guys know what that means. I've been eating my ass off every night around this time so that I can gain weight. And I put on around 40 something pounds in the last 3 months.
You look at this little girl, her right here in the front, got reddish shirts, North Sudan. They're like they're sandy, they're sandy blonde type, you know what I'm saying, reddish looking hair.
Banu would read about her and say she was white, she was Caucasian, she was from Ireland, who built Egypt.
Yeah, he crazy.
I don't get it. How are you a doctor and use this bias, man? He's amazing, brilliant, so happy to be his wife. I think you two are a perfect couple. Respect, sister.
It's a South Sudanese girl right here.
Yo, Gullah, you and your wife are more than welcome to come over to Canada. You have a place to stay in the capital of Canada. You look up the city, that's where I'm from.
Oh
I
yeah.
got I got a room for you guys and I'll feed you guys whenever you come over.
What's the capital of you from Toronto or you from what's that called? Ottawa? What's that, how you call it?
Y'all Americans don't care about the rest of the world when it comes to this stuff. The capital of Canada is Ottawa. The capital of America is
No, I
Washington.
said Ottawa,
We
something
know.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm from Ottawa, bro. I'm the capital of Canada. Toronto is the biggest city of our state, which we call province.
yeah. Yeah, I know a little about like African American history in Canada. You know what I'm saying?
But
Did little studies on that.
you're more than welcome to come to my humble home.
I know
I'm in my,
about I
I'm
know
in
about
my
Nova I know about Nova Scotia, you know what I'm saying?
the history of Nova Scotia. Yep.
Yeah,
During the black people that left America during they ran away during whatever, you know what I mean? You know the history.
yeah.
So there's older black people, there's older history within the black community in North Nova Scotia than there is like Ottawa and certain regions.
Hmm.
I'm diaspora, so of course I'm in Africa. I'm in Ottawa. You're looking at my face right now, bro. I'm an ancient Northeast African. What's up?
What'd he say?
I was like, I'm an ancient Northeast Africa. What's up?
Yeah, yeah. That's because Reggie light skinned. Reggie, mixed with stuff. Reggie look like he could be related to more Gaddafi.
Exactly. The thing is, I'm not like European mixed or anything. My parents are mixed with themselves. My grandparents were mixed with themselves. The great grandparents are mixed with themselves. And I am so proud to be from East Africa. I see North Africa as like my African brothers, just like I see like Malawi and other areas. Congo right now. Right now, I care about the Congo, what's happening there.
Yeah, I work with a lady. I work with an older lady. She from Sudan. She actually Nubian, and she don't look like a Nigerian. She like I thought she was from Ethiopia. I thought she was Habashi.
Yo, the
She,
Habesha people look funny, man. They came from, I'll be honest. The Habesha people come in different shades and stuff like that, and sometimes they don't look as black, you know?
yeah, yeah. But I thought she was Habashi. I thought she was like either Habashi or Tigray or something. But she was Sudanese. Look just the same, like just identical. Like she blend in. Nobody would ask a question.
Like I look at Habesha and I'm like, yo, you ain't black, I'm black. Yeah. I have a friend that's Habasha, and then I'm like, uh, us Somalis, we can be rude. We call them Habash, and then we come from like a rude way that we say like Habash, as in like you look like gibberish.
hmm Yeah, but yeah. Reggie can be a damn Saudi. Reggie look like he could be a Zinj, like a Zinj descended Saudi person that probably got a little bit Bantu ancestry.
Exactly.
He probably look like what Al he probably what Al Jahees look like.
Yeah, Gala, you understand when I say this. Some people don't see the fact that somebody can have lighter skin tone than modern West Africans, but they still have the phenotypes of West Africa.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
a that is freaking Reggie. That is what's it called? The other dude, the priest guy.
yeah.
Your skin tone doesn't make you. There's a phenotype, there's a skin tone, there's a bunch of stuff, and then you gotta look at the intermixes. What made you that way? Yo, Astro is roasting Dr. Banoob right now. You have the same skin tone as brother Reggie. He compared Reggie to freaking Banoob. Yo, do you know Reggie might be actually lighter than Banoob?
You said what? Oh yeah, he probably is. Look at these Latin Americans. Egyptians probably look like some of them.
Yo, for me, Egyptians, I compare Egyptians to like Mexicans and Yemen.
Yeah,
But then at the same time, I compare them to everything from um
I compare it to more so like in the Spanish world. I mean, I compare them more so to uh to like South Americans, like Colombians and like
yeah,
Caribbean Latin people, because they even them they got a lot of Canary Island Berber in them shit. Anyway, you know what I'm saying
yeah,
from the people from Spain, and
yeah.
then but like Mexicans, even though you have some Mexicans that have a little bit that lean more to Spaniard, but most of them are mestizo. They're like most of them are like Native American mixed with Spanish.
No, the
Got
thing
the
is
little, that's why
that
some of them got like the little Asian look. Some of them look like they Asian.
is that it's some of them have more of one mix than they do others. So it's like you have to like look at it and try
Yeah,
to appreciate that. I
yeah,
have to. I'm a big reader of chat, and one day I'll tell you why. It's not about skin tone. We have the phenotype of Caucasians.
yeah.
Um, Gullah, as he says this from a racist point of view, I'm gonna say this to you. I have the phenotype of a freaking Caucasian.
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
if I
they got the phenotype of you. Shit, you old. Yo, the phenotype was in Africa before it was in over there.
you hear that, Dr. Vinu? Caucasians have my phenotype. You have my phenotype. Just because diversity exists on the globe doesn't mean that you can use it to be racist and disqualify certain groups of people.
Yeah, when you live in a high altitude regions, you're gonna have to have a more narrow, like nose to even breathe. You know what I'm
E-
saying?
Exactly. At the same time, as you have a narrow nose to breathe, you can't jump as high, you can't run as fast. What's wrong with you? Isonic looks a bit Yemeni. Yo, Astro, I love Yemen, but the thing is, Yemenis are more, how do I say this? North African looking than I am. I don't want to be compared to Yemen. I'd
It's
rather be compared to Black Africa. Like, I don't know how to say this to you, my brother. I am not freaking Yemeni. Don't bring me into that group.
I ain't gonna lie though, bro.
Black power.
I seen some Yemen tribes that look like a four people, bro.
They exist.
With the daggers and all that. Like they look like a fort. Well, a fort. They used to travel over there back and forth anyway. But they look like, what I'm saying? They look like light skinned Somalis.
They do. But the thing is, we're from the same region, and I've shared this before in the past. My dad's born in Yemen.
Look at
When,
these some Yemen people right here.
yeah, my dad's from the region. We have Somalis that look lighter than them. We have the same phenotype. But the thing is, we understand the differences.
Yep, because you have people migrating over there from East Africa more
Yeah.
recent times anyway.
Yeah. Like I said, my dad was born in Yemen during colonization of Somalia. We still have a house there, but we're not Yemenis. We understand the differences.
Even these
Yo,
Yemen, yeah, they be
Astro, Yemen is way better than the Egyptians right now because they're actually fighting. They're better than freaking what do you call it?
look at this dude chewing that stuff. They be chewing that shit.
The chat. He's shooting cat. I know what he's chewing, bro. He's chewing cat. We sold him that shit probably. No, Ethiopia sold him that shit. Ethiopia's a drug dealer. Yemen and Somalia are the drug addicts.
Yeah. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. He look like this dude right here. He look like he got some type of East African in him. Look at him.
No, he does, but at the same time, like the facial structure, you can see a bit of the subtle differences.
Yeah. This dude like he still got some bit the Dravidian in him.
That dude looked like a Pakistani to me.
Yeah, like a Pakistani. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like a South Asian. But like remember though, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them, like I told you, them Beige Eurasian Vidoid dudes, they look like, they had that look over there. Cause even like the Dravidians don't come from South, like don't they ain't originally from India. They migrated there from somewhere in the Middle East somewhere. They
No, that's
migrated
true.
they migrated into India. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The original Indian people was like some type of Aboriginal Australian looking people, like the
yeah,
people that you see in like the what they call the Veda people, them type of motherfuckers. They look like some damn near like Aboriginal
yeah,
Australians a little bit.
yeah, yeah. The one who are being discriminated against today.
Yeah,
Wow, who's a racist? Yo, Dr. Bunu, tell me how I'm racist. I try to respect North Africa's diversity, East Africa, West Africa, Central Africa. I try to see the historical differences, Middle East and everything. I respect
look at this dude right
Yemen.
here. Look at
Like,
this dude. He like his grandma from fucking Djibouti some damn where.
bro, I don't know if you ever thought about this, because maybe it's my Western mind thinking. When I hear Djibouti,
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, what's up with your booty?
yeah. And this dude, look at this dude. Look at him.
Bro, the thing is, he he looks like more of a Western Central African mix than I do.
Yeah, this dude he look like Snoop Dogg.
Oh
Nipsey.
man, let him grow his
He
hair.
like Nipsey Hussle. He like Nipsey Hussle right here.
Yeah, yeah, more about Nipsey Hussle right there. Because the thing, what is Nipsey Hussle? The thing is, I have friends that are from Ethiopia for the most part, and they are a mix of Oromo, which is more Somali connected, and
Yeah.
Habasha, or like yeah, the Habasha, or that came from the back migration of Yemen.
Yeah, but you know what? Almost people they migrated up. They migrated further north too. They was ruling Abyssinia at one point in time. That almost was. and then too, you know, Haile Selassie, he got a Oromo ancestry. He ain't fully Amhara.
No, he's not. I have a friend whose mom is Amharic and his dad is Oromo.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at him, I'm like, are you Somali or no? And he's like, no, I'm not. But the thing is, I go to his house, his dad's gonna speak because the Oromo language is very close to Somali that they speak Somali. We can speak to each other. An Oromo person and a Somali person can speak to each other in their own native languages, and 70% of the time we understand each other.
He redhead. Look.
The the diversity.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, Peter Black is funny as hell. He's so correct too. One of them looks like Jason
And he's
Kidd.
Yemenis. He's Yemenis.
Yo, look at
Come
the
on,
one to the left.
these people probably got Bantu in them though. I ain't gonna lie. They probably
Yo,
got some Bantu slave trade in them.
yo, the second one from the left. That looks like Jason Kidd.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at Dr. Manu. They don't look black. I'm sorry. What the hell is black to you? You don't understand the diversity of humanity. Both of you are formally educated. Sad. Um, Dr. Manu, like I said before,
Look at it.
I don't give a F about
Look at her.
education.
Look at her right here. Look at this dude her. Yemenis.
Look at that. Bro, Dr. Manu will look at them and call them freaking Bantu. That's how lost he is.
This little baby look like a Somalian baby. Look.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that me, by the way? That's not me when I was baby, right?
Hell no.
But no, your name doesn't matter. There's people today that are from China and they have an Arabic name or they have a freaking a European name. Can they claim those people? That's a beautiful mashallah. Yo, Astro, I disagree with you sometimes, but I truly appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Even don't you know the mummies? The three mummies they found. You found the three mummies. The
Yo, sh
reconstruction. You know what I'm
sh
saying? From the 2017. I'm seeing,
show it to Banoop. He needs this education right now
bro.
badly.
One of them mummies is like a horner to me, bro. He ain't even the one that got E3B. Let me see, three
But
mummies.
I would not be surprised because the thing is, like I said, the phylogenetic tree I sent you, we split from them, mixed with proto-Nilotic, mixed with freaking Omotic. Dr. Banoop here doesn't get it. You're still not educated about Coptic standards. If Coptic standards is elementary school, then I feel bad for you, bro. Because you don't understand the different levels of education. You can barely comprehend genetics when you have a doctor in your name. People who are novice run circles around you consistently. Astro consistently tries to teach you. And others from the community consistently trying to bring you in by giving you information, and you just embarrass yourself. When you hit links, you come off as like a babbling buffoon to the point that Sanetta wanted to get your number so that he can make fun of you and embarrass you.
This one I'm talking about. Which one you think I think look like a horner, bro? Which one you think I think look like a horner?
Yo, the one on the left and the one in the middle, both of them, and me, the one
Yeah,
on the left.
but especially this dude. This
Yeah,
dude,
the one on the
here,
left.
bro. This dude right here, bro, looks like Haile Selassie grandson. This dude got a bro. He got more of the original Egyptian traits, like the original North Eritrea type. You know what I'm saying, dude? This dude too.
No, but the one on the left and the one in the middle. I'm gonna be
This
honest with you.
dude
The
look.
one
This dude looks South African. He look like Trevor Noah.
he does big time.
Yeah.
Yo, look, Dr. Banoop, Amharic and Cushitic are not related to Coptic. I don't even know where to start, bro. Like,
This dude look like he could be Puerto Rican or Colombian or something.
Exactly. Que pasa, my brother?
Yeah. Tell him salute, salute. This dude
Man.
too. This dude look like he from Brazil. He could be from Brazil or something, or fucking or Puerto Rico. He look like Pit. He look like Pitbull a little bit too.
No, he does, bro. Like this is the beauty. Astro just said this. Every human is mixed. Look at that picture. Astro, you nailed it. Um, J.K. Miza, I am Bantu of Kenya, Kikayu tribe, largest in Kenya. Yo, respect my African brother.
What he
Kenya,
said? My
Kenya is amazing.
acidic, all not related to. He retarded, bro.
Like
He lying.
I don't know,
Why he lying for no reason?
I don't know where to start. That's what I said. I don't know where to
Why
start,
you drunk?
bro.
Is
And
he drunk?
he has a doctor in front of his name. I can't stop laughing. It's
Come
this
on,
late.
bro.
My wife's gonna kick my ass in 3 hours, and I'm like, this is what I have to chat with, huh? They look very Egyptian. Yes, they do.
What he talking about? He retarded.
Bro, I don't know where to even start with this guy. Like, huh? This is why I'd rather just chat with Astro because when me and Astro chat sometimes, I'm like, I sit back and I actually learn. And when I say something, he understands this. Dr. Banoob is elementary in this conversation.
Look, hold on. Where she go?
First dude, Jared Dudley. Second dude, Seth Curry. First dude, Luke Walton.
Look, they changed this.
I'm a basketball fan. Pure Black, you're killing me, man.
Here we go.
Yo, Pure Black made my night, man. What the hell?
Here we go.
Yo, Dr. Boonham, I don't know where to start with that comment, man. Like, Gullah is taking the time out right now to search and show it to you, but it's embarrassing that he has to stop for someone who has a doctorate, supposedly. Like,
Look, here we
what the
go.
hell?
Look. In an analysis of 28 Ethiopian ethnic groups, Lopez 2021 revealed that several groups belong to three Afroasiatic classifications of Cushitic, Hamitic, and Semitic, show high genetic similarities to each other on average. Furthermore, the Nilo-Saharan speakers of Southwestern share more recent ancestry with Bantu and Nilotics. In contrast, Afroasiatic speakers in Northeast share more recently ancestry with Egyptians and other West Eurasians. What the fuck are you talking about?
Like, bro, how do you respond to somebody who's that biased? Like, even when what you just said right now, he's still gonna question it.
I'm
Like,
gonna be confused with Cushitic people, bro. You crazy, man.
huh?
Hold on. He think all Egyptians look like people from Cairo or something.
No, he thinks that Egyptians are blonde hair, blue eyes, freaking Hitler loving people.
No,
It's
no.
like you're from the region and you haven't studied or even traveled to the area. I'm telling you, I know people from the region and they would look at you and say, "You're embarrassing us. Step the hell away from the drugs or leave the comment section and stop making us look bad." What university did I go to? Like I said to you before, I'm not gonna share what university or what type of job I had because I am, how do I say this, confident enough in my skin and my career that I don't need to demean other people and share that type of information. If you
Look at
became
this.
my friend, you would know.
Look at this. People don't look like Horners. Look at this dude. Look at this little dude. Look at him. I seen Horners look like that. I seen Horners that look like him. I seen Eritreans that look like him. What is he talking about? This dude
Philip,
wild.
And another thing is you made a stream one time and I was laughing my ass off. You said if a Horner person mix with an let's say a Western or European person, they would look more North African than if a person from West and Central Africa mixed with a European person.
Yep.
That just shows you the diversity of humanity.
Look at these Egyptians. Look at these Egyptians.
Like,
Look at this dude right here. Look at him. This dude like he like a Mexican. He look like a Mexican right here. He like a straight Mexican with that mustache.
he does. Well, I want to go back. I want to say this. Pure Black is cooking tonight. Yo, Matt Barnes right there. I see Matt Barnes sitting right there. I never said that. Bro, you want to say, my brother and I are Pharma D. My sister is an MD. What's your education? The thing is, I will always say this. I do have a high level of education, which I had to pay back. But
Mm.
I don't have a reason to share that information because I am not trying to say that that makes me smarter than people who don't have the same level of education I do.
Look at these dudes.
So
Look at
F you for bringing that up.
his hair ain't straight. Look, his hair ain't even straight.
Yo, you know what Dr. Banu would say? That's an invader from West Africa.
Nah. I seen Italian, bro. I seen Italians look they got hair like this though.
Yo, I even drink with a cup that has my name on it. Sonic.
Oh damn. Oh, that's why you named. That's why you because you so into gaming. You name yourself a yeah.
No, I didn't name myself that. I got named that after I was playing a game one. I used to play basketball in high school and college,
Yeah.
and then people started. I was playing a game one time against a team that was supposed to destroy us, and then I started hearing the crowd. They started yelling Sonic, Sonic, and I was like, "What the hell?" So they named me Sonic after that.
Oh damn.
So I'm East African, buying slow, man. Sonic. The IY is the first initial of two of my brothers that passed away a long time ago. Well, years ago. So IY, Sonic.
Look, these people from Luxor. Look, Luxor. These what the people with Thieves would look like. Luxor is close to Thieves. People from Thieves would look like this.
Yo,
Thomas, Amos, and all them would look like this.
they have dark skin with Caucasoid features.
Even Tut, King Tut would look like these people.
Gilla, am I wrong? Caucasoid features, but dark skin.
Yeah, dark skin, yeah. Look at
So
this
when
Somalian. Look at that Somalian right here. Look at him.
exactly like that's why I gotta tell people, go travel to Africa, man. Stop embarrassing yourself. Read a book.
This dude right here, like he speaks Spanish. He like he know he about to speak some Spanish or something right
Like I said before, ¿Qué pasa, my brother?
here.
Oh, puta bandejo.
Man, and him, he look like he's Somali. He look like he from Eritrea somewhere.
All of them look Somali to me, man. I don't know how to say this to you. We have Somalis that look like
This
them.
Luxor, this Luxor.
Exactly. I met people from that region and I look at them and I'm like, because I've had the privilege of doing interviews to hire people.
Now Luxor is Upper Egypt, but it ain't like super south Upper Egypt. It's like still like it's the northern part of Upper Egypt.
You wouldn't get a sniff from USC. Bro, I don't know how to say this to you. You keep wanting to bring up post-secondary education. I would easily get into USC and kill it. It's not a bragging right. It's a privilege to be able to say that you had that opportunity. It doesn't
That's a
speak of
perfect
intelligence.
that's a perfect name for you too, but no Assen. Their name Assen.
That is his name, huh? Yo, what's up, Aston? I'm gonna call you Aston starting from now. We can tell a Somali from a Mexican or, um, huh? Bro, do you even travel outside of your block?
Look at these Egyptians. Look at these Egyptians.
Yo, did you see those are Egyptians? Because I don't think Bantu understands that.
Slow, man. And the
I've been
captain say, and the captain say modern. They say modern Egypt. Look,
yo, I've been around Somalis since 1990s and none of them look like us. Then maybe you need to travel to freaking Egypt. US. Go travel to Egypt, your home country. Visit. Go shake hands with the people.
no, them Egyptians right there. He probably ain't even a real. He probably ain't even a real Egyptian. You probably an Egyptian that got more Turkish than you. You probably a Turkish Egyptian.
Yeah,
You probably a damn. You probably a damn Albanian like a Muhammad Ali of
oh,
Egypt. You
I
probably
would
ain't
not,
even a real. You probably a Turk, boy. You probably a Turk, a dirt. You probably part of the dervish. You part
I
of the
would not,
dervish Turk.
I would not be surprised. Well, I'm not gonna keep cooking the whole night. It's 4:12 and my wife's gonna kill me in 2 hours, so I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to head to bed.
I'm finna close it up too.
No, I appreciate you letting me on, bro. O- Outside of the YouTube stuff, I would definitely love to chat with you.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man.
I could be more real and not my troll self like I am online.
Yeah, you good, man. You good, bro. It's all good, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna be out, man. Like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Please share. You know what I'm saying? People can tune in to the channel. I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. And we will continue the Bantu expansion going into the East African classical age. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do
No,
part 2 next week. And I'm gonna pick a
no,
day. I'm gonna pick a day too, during the week. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do like a random topic day. We talking about random, just random stuff. We'll talk about. I might even go back into Nubia on one of them days. So you know what I'm
no.
saying?
I look
So
forward to your stream. Could I just answer one question from JK Mitsa? Yeah,
yeah,
I over glasses. Milsa. He said, "Why do Somalis say they're not Africans? They say they're Arab, not black." I'm gonna be real with you when I answer this question. First of all, we say we're Africans. However, some of us do say that we're Arab because of colonization and the biases that we have formed throughout history. We have a false narrative of our origins, especially the ones that are miseducated in the region. But once we get educated, we learn that we are not Arabs. We're from Africa, which we already acknowledge, that we have our own genetic makeup. And it comes from understanding that we are not of Arab descent. However, we are not of West Africa or Central Africa, that we are our own unique people through historical nexus. So sometimes you're going to run into the people that say that because they haven't fully read the history, the genetics, and understand where they came from.
mm-hmm.
So some of it is coming from a biased and at times racist mindset. So if you do run into a Somali that is telling you, I'm Arab, I'm not black, you can acknowledge and say, okay, you don't have to identify as black. That's fair. However, you're not Arab. So can you please look into your genetic history, your linguistics, and the fact that you guys come from different, okay, you guys have different mixes in history.
Yeah. This is the last picture I'm gonna show tonight. Look at this one though. Look at these groups. Look how diverse this picture is. Look at the diversity, the different type of range. Look at this dude right here.
Like the hair, forget the skin tone. Bro, look at the
Look at
hairs
this
right now.
dude hair. Look at this dude. This for Chief X. This for Chief X on here. Look at this dude hair. Where my money at, Chief X? Where my money at? Look at that kink. Look at that kink.
Exactly. Look at the hair.
Where my fucking money at? Look at this dude hair. You know what I'm saying? He got straighter hair. You know what I'm saying? He got
Yeah.
his hair ain't as straight, but it's straighter. Look at this dude hair. But this dude hair
It's the
right here,
hair. Yeah.
look at this dude.
Yeah. If you only look at the skin tone, you're gonna be confused because you're gonna say, oh, they're the same people. Look at the hair. that will shut down and show you that the humanity has intermixed and diversity exists.
Look at them ears. That's them ears from the people. Remember the ears that be showing with the people glyph? Remember the glyph they always show with the ears that like Egypt say that this what the symbol of people mean or something. It look like a bomber a little bit with the
Yeah.
ears. Look at them ears. Look at this little dude ears. That's he the glyph.
Exactly. Bro, is that a redhead Caucasian dude to you? Lookership. Dr. Bunub, you don't understand the
It's real
genetic.
looking shit. These Egyptians, bruh. What you talking about? These Egyptians. This ain't no fake looking ship. What you mean looking ship? Bro, the first step of the scientific method is fucking observation, nigga. What you talking about?
He
This is
wants you to
observation.
Gullah, he wants you to pull out redheads and blonde hair people and say they're Egyptians. Anyone else is not an Egyptian, bro. Have you seen what it looks like? He's darker than them.
No. These your people, bro. What you talking about? You know these your people. Get out of here. These Egyptians. You know these Egyptians.
No, he doesn't want to learn. Objective reasoning. Use the name doctor in your name and go do objective reasoning research.
Bro, I work with a Coptic Egyptian, bro, named Abraham. He a Christian and everything. I told him, he told me, he's like, yeah, man. You look at the walls, they're black. he said, we
Exactly.
have black, he said we have black ancestors, but of course they use terms like that because of British influence. British was there. Egypt during the Suez Canal had heavily British influence. That's why they are saying it. That's why I use black and white now. Because of the British and the Turks and shit.
No, I agree with you. I work with Egyptians too, and I look at them, I'm like, yo, you guys are my family. Like they give me love. I show them love. And I'm like, Dr. Bantu is embarrassing you guys. I don't say that to them, but in my head, I'm like, some dude on the online, then Dr. Banoob is embarrassing you guys.
Real.
But bro, you got a subscriber tonight, J.K. Mills. Peace.
J.K. Mills, he jumped, he added on.
None of them look
Right on,
Somali.
bro. Right on, bro. Appreciate it. Timmy Turner, right on, bro. Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. I'm gonna jump on off here, man. We're gonna do this again next week, yo.
Yo, respect. Stream earlier so I don't get my ass kicked. I'm getting my ass whooped tomorrow morning, man. Like the
Yeah, I know
beatdown is
about
happening.
I know about the Kikuyu brother Jay Mills. Yeah, I part of the Mau Mau revolts. I know I'm hip, boy.
Yo, if anyone's new, subscribe. Gullah is freaking amazing. He is informed, he's objective, and he's not trying to come in with some biased information to sell you some bullshit. Straight up.
Some of them did look Somali, boy. You don't know what Somalis look like.
That's the thing. He doesn't. Like I'm sitting here and he's looking at me thinking I'm West African.
Crazy, bro. He wild. I ain't saying nobody was black. Ain't nobody say they was. They got fucking Afro-Asiatic ancestry. Do I have to break the Afro-Asiatic ancestry down to you? Because you think Amadi come from Western Asia, which is fucking ridiculous. Using
Yeah.
some stupid ass information.
See, this is where I get them. Where do you think the Afro-Asiatic language comes from? You got to read sometimes, man. It didn't come from Asia. It comes from Africa. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
come from North Africa. I'm not gonna share it with you because you think I'm gonna be biased. Go read.
Mm-hmm. It was just we were just sharing the phenotypical continuity there. You still gonna find that in and out of no matter how likely it is. We just seen a few people that still have like somewhat Horner type features or
Exactly.
Red Sea Hill. I'm gonna say Red Sea Hill features because it's even Afro-Asiatic. They didn't really start in the Horn. It was more so like that Red Sea Hill or the Southern Red Sea Hill region. You know what I'm saying? They went into the Horn and they went into further reaches up north. You know what I'm saying? Split from that region.
Yeah,
That
I agree.
Eritrea, because
Well,
Eritrea is not even really the Horn. Eritrea is like the immediately north of the Horn. You know what I'm
they
saying?
are north of the Horn.
Yeah, it's not like
But
deep.
Dr. Banu, I take a step back when other people are speaking, and sometimes when you guys doing this to Gala or Ngozi, I'm just like, I might as well just troll and be basic with you guys. But the thing is, I am not a novice. I read. I actually read. Gala,
Yeah.
you see my
Yeah.
screen?
Mm-hmm.
I have the books. I
Yeah,
read.
I got it too. My book, man, my book raggedy right now. I got it too. I got my book in class. I read it so much.
Oh, I read,
Real.
and I read to unite us.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not novice, bro. Like, I actually read, and sometimes I'm just like, if people I respect are not being listened to, why am I going to share all the information that I read? I might as well just troll and speak at a basic level, elementary level, um, comprehension skills. You know what I mean? Why not just be basic with you guys?
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Banoob, I'll say this to you. I might look short to you, but I am not short. I am taller than that I actually appear. I have
Mm-hmm.
an actual setup. I am mixed with Proto-Nilotic. Nilots are a lot taller than Egyptians. Somalis compete with Egyptians and are taller than them for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taller than the average height.
Yeah. And then too, Somalians, due to the Cushitic, Proto-Cushitic people anyway, have shared genes, you know what I'm saying, and culture with Sudanic or non-Saharan people. You know what I'm saying? Before even migrating and becoming the proto-Somali.
Yeah,
The proto-Somali ancestors already had Nilo-Saharan genetics. You
yeah,
know,
the Proto-Nilotic.
yeah. They were mixing with each other, you know what I'm saying, in Eastern Sahara region, you know what I'm saying, not around them regions.
Yo, this guy said, "Nice picture book." Gullah, is this a picture book?
Nah, nah, that's
Is,
a good thing.
is
Yeah.
this a picture book? Bro,
That's a textbook. That's a textbook. Each section got questions and shit. That's a
is
text.
it- nice picture book. It shows that you don't even know the books that I'm referencing. You don't read. You said you were 4'11". I'm not 4 foot 11.
He didn't even spell it. He say, what number is that? That's 40. That's 4100. 40 what? Oh.
For one, like, you know what? We know what group I prefer. I prefer the group 112. If we're thinking about rap groups, 112 is better than four, whatever the hell that number is. I never said I was that height. You're making stuff up. I'm not 4'11". I'm not even 5'11". I'm taller than you for the most part.
He drunk. He drunk or something. Something
Yeah,
wrong with him.
yeah. Stop drinking, man. God damn it. This late, 4 a.m. where I am, and you drinking? Good luck tomorrow. I'm waking up in 2 hours. The benefit of being sober. Wake up in 2 hours.
Yeah. But shoot, I'm gonna shut it down, man. We're finna get
Yo,
out of here. We're gonna get it in next week, bro.
yo,
Appreciate you coming on, man. We're gonna
yo.
definitely wrap offline. And two, y'all, I got me and Bior from Kush Royalty. We he doing it, he interviewing me on West African culture.
Yo,
So
share that. I would love to see it. I got a lot of respect for Brother Bior, and the last time we spoke, I did put it in a podcast, and I made it audio only so that you can check it out. I don't know if I ever sent it to you.
hmm oh
I
yeah,
turned
yeah,
that into an Yeah, I turned that into an audio only.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I heard so that was hard. That was hard.
So
Yeah,
this one too.
and shout out to Sister Gina, who a real respectable Egyptian. Shout out to brother Ramesses, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
aka my brother Muhammad, who a real deal respectable Egyptian. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Ramses is awesome. I also, yeah, we chat with him on the Discord for the most part. I'm gonna take this stream and I'm gonna turn it into an audio only and send it to you. And I do this stuff for my work.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to improve my skills. That's why I'm trying to play around with it when I'm off for the most part.
Okay, bro. All right, man. But yeah, appreciate y'all, man. I'm out. I'm out. Peace.
Peace all.
Stay safe and stay dangerous.
Likewise, bro.